I should hit the BAM and then say, okay, cool. It's time to kill Kato, but that's where we're at now. Another big angry theater of the mind comment. One spaghetti boy, one mastodon, and anger boy. Senia, who would win? It's a strange battle royale here at the end of what has become the end of River's Run, Red. Hey, the battle's happening at a river, and indeed, Red, it could run. Dope, we did it, we did it. I'm so proud of us. Thank you, the 5 of you, for your amazing character support on Patreon. 40 minutes of in-character reflections, hour and a half of deliberations, and then here are giant monster fights. Thank you for Pacific Rim, I guess, is what I'm getting at here. But I think we got a Kato. Kato's at the table.
Kato's at the table. Kato never left.
Kato never left. Dope. And then we did the thing. Kato's done with Kato's turn, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Full of heckin' rage. I got a -2, so my heckin' rage is a little not as good as it was a second ago. But shaken mastodon grab. Bam!
Yeah. That'll get me.
Mastodon is able to, like, you say what you say, and the Mastodon, like, looks uncomfortable and flies into, like, it's not sure of where it's hitting, but that doesn't mean it's not, like, painfully accurate as it wraps Kato up around the waist and picks him up bodily off the ground. I'm sorry! I couldn't hear you from the ground, oh mighty king! What was that?
Why don't you step off your high horse and we can talk about it on the ground?
No, I think I have a better idea. And Senia.
All right.
I guess what I should say is Divicos withdraws from his belt. It's obvious that, well, no, he's had enough time. This is now his dominant hand. He knows how that works. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this particular Anglo-Saxon weapon, but I can describe its, like, trapezoidal shape as if you had almost just, like, taken a metal trapezoid, sharpened one side of one end, almost like an axe, and then made a hilt. He incants something. The blade glows with that, like, charcoal black light. And Senia.
I'm scared for you, Del.
Alright, well, Senya's gonna go into a trance. And she's going to summon an ancestor totem. And she's gonna try to reason with Divicos again.
Don't be so mean. Why you gotta be so cruel?
Oh, it literally is an ancestor. It's an ancestor totem called Ancestor Totem. Fair enough. Okay. Dope. Well, make the check, friendo.
I believe?
I believe I can fly.
Oh, it's a 6.
Okay, that's... What cat is in here now?
+2, yeah.
There's 3 cats in this house, and 2 of them want to kill my cat. And I've put that cat in a different room, but I'm assuming we're going to hear a different animal battle over the course of Kingmaker as we introduce my cat to Lucia's. But, got a 19 in total. Not Tree Razor. This boy now has that number. Can't math. Okay. So he turns your direction.
Can I assist?
As perhaps a standard action on your turn if you have the ability to. I don't know if you can assist. Like, per the drawback, I'm not sure if your character has the ability to do
fair
anything,
enough.
But defend my honor! He turns at you and just, why?
What happened last time that you decided to take them on all by yourself? How long do you think you're gonna last against an army? Kato here, he's not the enemy. And if you take a little bit of time to get to know him, you'll be surprised how much the two of you have in common.
He kind of hangs. Give me
Damn, girl.
What did you roll? What'd you roll? Give me one more diplomacy check.
Oh my god.
Do we clinch it here or not?
Ah!
Hero point! Hero point!
Maybe now's the time.
Alright, I'm gonna
It's the
hero
last
point that.
session's hero point.
As your man's screams at the top of his lungs for you to use your hero point to save him.
I'm gonna mulligan that one.
I'm assuming Senia gets a higher share of the kingdom upkeep. Pair Jubilost stipend. Oof. Maybe you're right.
But it's
Or maybe he's just some other bastard from the civilized lands. There's nowhere left for us to go. We can deal with this later. I won't kill him, fine. And it passes to Kato. Kato is still grappled at the top of Kato's turn.
All right. Is there... Let's see the rules for grappled here. Is there any way to attempt to ungrapple?
Yep, you could either roll a CMB yourself or an escape artist check.
Are the DCs different for those?
Same DC. You just might be a little better at escape artist. Depending on where your skill ranks have gone and stuff. And I'm not looking at it. I'm only like 70% sure that you can do the swashbuckler exploding dice extravaganza with escape artists.
Oh, let me look.
But I forget.
That's actually a good question. All right, there it is. Daring do. It works for acrobatics, climb, escape artist,
There you go.
fly, ride, and swim.
So you could feasibly squeeze out that way.
All right, I will attempt escape artist. I will spend a panache. Activate daring do. Adding 1d6 exploding to this result. So I'm going to roll the regular result first.
Okay. Okay.
nice.
I got real excited for a minute. I'm looking at Divicos' sheet. I'm like, oh, there you go. So we got a 22 all told.
Yes, we do.
22 is, unfortunately, even with Shaken, not quite good enough. You probably get a couple, like, not to mechanical benefit, but you're able to probably get, like, an arm free or a bit of your coat comes up. But you can't quite work out how it goes.
All right, before I end my turn, I'm just going to say, your tribesman speaks the truth. I come here meaning you no harm, looking only for allies against our common enemy, yet you attack me without provocation.
Your
Have you
kind
no honor,
attacks
sir?
my kind and attacks the land we've lived in for years with no provocation. Where were you? And
Ooh.
so then
Oh wow.
what happens now is a big combination of feats between I rolled on Divicos' sheet. Well, never mind. He got a 20. He's good. I clicked the wrong button. It should have been considerably higher. Divicos' Mastodon has greater grapple, which means
As it would.
that he can do two things when he succeeds, but he's only going to do the one. What happens is, mechanically, he pins Kato as the trunk, like, Tree Razor bellows. It's probably incredibly loud for Kato, as Kato is brought right up next to Divicos's, like, up next to the saddle. As that happens, Divicos takes his blade and, I'll say, Roroni Kenshins it and hopes everybody understands what I mean when I say that. He flips the blade over to present the blunt end and just, where were you, you filthy? And then he has a feat called Pregnant Pause. He has a feat
Called Pregnant Pause.
called Throat Slicer. This is now I'm going to explain how mechanics work. This is me and Del will do that forever. It allows them to perform a coup de grace against pinned, tied up, or helpless creatures as a standard action. So he's going to attempt a coup de grace.
That's nasty.
He just said he wasn't going to kill me.
He's using the blood end, though.
He is. So that means the first attack is the one we'll use, and you take 26 points of non-lethal damage, and if you could make a fort save.
Ow. Gonna Charmed Life that.
Gonna, like, crush her throat with the blunt end of his Boof.
Unfortunately, that is not quite enough. Not your throat. Probably that's the original thought, is to just slit your throat and then drop you. Rather, Divicos just slams the blunt end of his weapon into your temple, and that's the last thing Kato remembers before the world goes black. Senia sees Tree Razor drop him. He falls. Oh, yeah, to the tune of 5 points of damage, landing in the mud, and then Divicos and Tree Razor storm off into the Gnarl Marches. And that's initiative.
Are the lizard people clapping?
No, they're very
clapping
quiet.
their
They
tails
have been
on the
this whole
ground.
time. Several are watching. There's probably some have swam up to the side. A couple of, like, birds and thylacines and dinosaurs and things are watching a little too intelligently, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
But it's like, it's dead quiet.
Might I say, yikes. Send him at the owlbear.
And I think now is a good time for us to do our in-character reflections. If you guys would like to do... I know we spent a long time last time, so if you want to just play Pathfinder now, we can just play Pathfinder now.
My reflection's pretty quick.
Alright, do it. Make it so.
Oh, okay. I play Kalira Ashling, barbarian of the superstitious archetype, half elf, and since last she's been she went down and made some nice explosions, caved in some tunnels, and she's been spending the rest of the time in Oleg's eating and drinking,
Got it.
while the gods have come up to her and asked her, "Hey, what do you want to do next?" And she said, "I don't know, figure it out." And then that's it.
Your time in the last session does seem rather boring compared to everyone else fights a giant monster. Meanwhile, Bakken sets off like 3 explosions, the tunnel is sealed, the Garanan stuff is broken, and then Kalira's just having the best time ever, living her best life back in Rooston. Meanwhile, good enough. Does anyone else want to add anything, or do we just everyone has a hero point and play resumes?
Well, Ionia and I have a scene that it might make make the most sense to do that now as kind of both of our reflections.
Meanwhile, in the northern hex that Rooston's in,
Basically.
Do you want me to do mine first because it's really short?
oh god, sure, fine, please, Kato, please.
All right, Kato is unconscious.
Alright, dope.
It's very black. There is nothing.
I can give you a real one. So yeah, I'm Kato Sicarius, swashbuckler, fighter, monk, sword lord, of various archetypes. To save everyone the migraines, I will not go into too much depth this time
How
around.
does your class work? What happens when you go into...
What?
That was good, Timur. Just the questions.
But will he be able to enter his stance at the start of combat? So yeah, this past session has not gone as Kato expected at all. Obviously, he doesn't know what's happening in the north, but metagaming, he'd get, it's crazy. And then what happened here? He basically avoided death because Senya came rushing to the aid to basically talk Davicos off the ledge. So that was fortunate. Thanks, Senya. I appreciate it. Kind of owe you my life now. So yeah. You're the best. With that said, Kato knows this is when he finally comes to. He will know that this is not the last time he will see Davicos, and he will have vengeance for his honor that has been besmirched. Because the trait is still active. I did not receive an apology or equivalency to an apology. So the feud, or the grudge, so to speak, it still lives mechanically. So that's a thing.
So Can Senya go next?
Sure, I guess we're all gonna do one. Fair enough. All right, dope. Take it.
So how does my drawback work? That's per combat, right?
Yeah, and the combat is now over, so your
Combat's
wits are
over,
about you
okay.
once again.
Basically, when I went down, she fainted right next to me.
Senya kind of like fell to her knees as Divico stormed off. She's a bit at a loss, and she seems to remember him being a lot kinder in her younger years. He's not at all what she remembers Divico's to be. She's at a loss at what to do. On the one hand, she obviously has an allegiance to the Blackstacks, but on the other hand, she has for such a long time thought herself to be the last one, and in some sense kind of let that past be in the past, and she's grown to embrace the reclaimers, and she's grown to embrace or grown to consider her party members her friends, because they've been through the thick and thin of it so much. She kind of, after Divico storms off into the marches, she'll like approach Kato, like to try and see if she can snap him out of it, so to speak.
Okay, fair enough. Hero point goes to you, and as I said, meanwhile, at that other hex.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a scene.
Sure, works for me.
And it's been slightly edited to account for everything that just happened, so hopefully there's no glaring problems that we run into. Freshly returned from the escapade at the graveyard, Arcturus and Ionia take a moment in the castle waiting for the rest of the party to return, and Arcturus's expression is solemn at a glance, but there is a look of remorse in his eyes.
Ionia had not seen his face in such a long time before today, and she had not yet grown reaccustomed to it. Arcturus, what's going on? What's wrong?
Child, Ionia, I have known you for much of my life. I have watched you grow from an insatiably curious child to... Arcturus pauses and smiles warmly. An insatiably curious young lady. I know that for our time here, I have not been the same Uncle Arcturus that I was for you when you were younger. I have been cold. I have been... Arcturus averts his eyes now, tears welling in his eyes. Staring off to the side, he continues, did your father ever tell you how we became so close? His eyes return to meet Ionia's.
Her expression shifts from concern, sheepishly returning his smile. No, not really. Father was never one for stories, not so much as Mother was. Tears begin to form in her own eyes as she remembers the days before the vanishing, back when her family was whole.
Arcturus smiles. Well, I'm not surprised. It certainly was not because I enjoyed coming to Port Ice so frequently, he remarks with a chuckle. Galadon is a good friend, and an even greater. With a brief pause, his expression turns dour. My parents were from Cheliax, though by the time I had known them, they were devoutes of Abadar. They grew up in a small village that clung to the belief that Eredin would eventually return. Then, the Hell Knights came, and they had to leave, or at least that's how my father always told me. Arcturus gets down on a knee so that he's looking up at Ionia.
For a moment, Ionia feels like a child again, remembering how the taxmaster would go through the same motion, reminding her to be good and keep an eye on your brother. Abadar is always watching, just before he would depart again for several more months.
My father and I were about as close as a parent and a child could be. Perhaps more than anything in the world, I wanted two things. For a man who had been through so much already to be safe, and quite honestly, I wanted to impress him. That's why Arcturus pauses as he looks down. He gathers himself before starting over. When I was just a little older than you are now, Galadon told me the news that my father had fallen ill with some strange disease. I was in the middle of a debt collection, but I didn't care. I rushed home that very day, and when I arrived, I was too late even to say goodbye. My mother succumbed to the same strange disease and was gone but a day later.
Ionia grabs Arcturus' hand, wrapping it in both of her own. For the first time in years, she looks into his eyes, noticing the faded gray hue. I'm I'm so sorry, Artoris. I had no idea. She squeezes his hand softly.
He raises his head again to look at the young woman. I was not always so certain in my direction, Ionia. I wondered then, as I wonder now, why the disease had not claimed me as well. I was there with my mother as she lay down. Why was I not stricken? Why am I not with them? A growing pitch of anger and sadness grows in his voice before a calm takes over and a brief moment of silence. For a time after, I thought of returning to Cheliax and serving their wicked devils. After all, Artoris sighs. What difference would it make? I considered schooling to learn more of the Arcane as, in truth, Artoris takes out his wand of magic missiles and examines. We have more of a shared curiosity than I sometimes let on, even if I'm not nearly as skilled at exploring it. Artoris smiles slightly before remembering where he had left off in his story.
Ionia smiles back softly behind sullen eyes, attempting to show recognition at the man's attempt to relate to her, but still feeling the heaviness of his tale.
Artoris' face turns hard. Suffice it to say, I was lost, and I was angry. It was a cruel, arbitrary fate that befell my parents. A life of service and hardship, only to be snatched away suddenly as though they were nothing. Artoris' face softens again. But then came Galadon. I had known him for some time, of course. He was, if nothing else, respite away from that cursed city. And I knew you before then, too, though I'm sure I was just another traveling pilgrim to you. Galadon talked me off the ledge. He heard my anger, and he even took a fair bit of it. But he was patient, and he was wise. He helped me see the importance of what we do, the cosmic struggle of order against chaos, and the responsibility of creation to uphold the order that makes itself possible. I found a protector during that period of my life, a protector against nihilism. And for protecting me from that, I owe him a debt I can perhaps never repay. He returns to his feet now, and he looks squarely at Ionia. But I will try. I have been inadequate to you as a protector. I have been unable to protect my shrine, let alone you. I will be honest. Being away from civilization left me feeling alone. I withdrew. But when my mask was damaged the other day, I think it was a sign. A sign that I could not see in the moment, but I see it as clearly as an overflowing vault now. Uncle Artoris is here for you, Ionia. For Galadon's sake, and for yours, I will keep you safe, and we will build something here that will make Abadar, our fathers, and us proud.
The girl embraces the taxmaster in a warm hug. My father truly is a great man, she says as tears drop to his shoulders. She pushes herself away from Artoris' chest, making eye contact once more. I'm glad he was able to help you, as he has helped so many.
I have seen the impact he has made. I have seen the smiles of those who have found peace through his wisdom, and I am proud to count myself among them. But I am not here only to make a renewed pledge to you, Ionia. Truthfully, I want to ask for your forgiveness. I am sorry for not living up to the person you knew me as back in Brevoy. I have let our circumstance here change me, and not for the better. Can you find it within yourself to forgive me?
Ionia takes a moment to consider before responding. My father and I, we've lost so much. After Mother and Minoru disappeared, Father was broken, and I was desperate. Desperate to find them, to bring them home. But my obsession made it impossible for him to heal. She makes her way to the window, looking out over the rolling hills. Somewhere, far past those hills, stood Skywatch. She remembered many times her father looking hopelessly in the same direction. She removes the bone cubes from her pocket. The yellow dice lean against one another in the palm of her hand. She tightly clenches her fist around them, biting her bottom lip, as she fights back a wave of painful emotion. After a moment, she wipes the tears from her face and takes a deep breath. Don't add to the tragedy by living in it, Ionia quotes.
Artoris recognized those words. He had spoken them to Ionia some time ago. He realized now what a cutting edge those words had to them. His head hung slightly, though whether it was because he had failed to live up to his own advice just now, or because he regretted the accusation embedded within it, Artoris was unsure. He only knew that he felt a small amount of shame.
Ionia turns to face Artoris once more. Her expression is surprisingly soft. Those words were difficult to hear, but I believe it helped my father to move on. So I suppose you saved him as well. He would not forgive me not forgiving you.
A wave of relief washes over Artoris's face. Privately, he was not quite so sure that he had helped his friend so much back then, though he beamed with pride hearing Ionia say such a thing. If anything, it seems like Galadon is once again coming to my aid, Artoris thought with a smile. Thank you, Ionia. You truly have the best of your parents within you, and you made them both proud at the graveyard. You showed great bravery and selflessness for the benefit of another. But for now, I will take my leave. Please, if you ever need anything, know that I am here for you. I will do a better job of making that clear. With that, Artoris gives a bow of his head to Ionia. Turning to leave, he notices Ionia's faithful companion has been watching the entire conversation. Artoris stops mid-turn, and after a slighter bow of the head to Minoru as well, continues off and returns to the temple to inform the Arbiter of the latest events.
Wholesome. We had to add the dog. I don't know what I'm going to give this. I'm going to give this group something. I don't know. Give me 2 weeks. Let's keep these coming. And what I might do, we're basically at the end of book 2. I might, every time there's this level of like interpersonal roleplay between sessions or between weeks, I'll mark it down that we did our homework and we did good and it was really fun. And the more of those we build up, eventually we cash out in the form of like suddenly there's a cathedral to Abadar done in Brewston or some noise. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I don't even know where I want to. That happened. Y'all are making your way back home, making your way downtown. Faces past. Jubilost is no longer charging you, and you're home now. I guess we'll take it to Senia. Yeah. Senia, as Divicos disappears into the swamp, Dazia makes her way over, and
by the way, here's our king.
She doesn't realize what happened. She just saw somebody get hit in the head, so she is gonna cast. She puts her hand down on like Kato's throat, and then in her other hand she withdraws a little, like, I say little, but it's probably like from my bird finger to my thumb claw, and she begins chanting in her native tongue as Kato is restored for a bunch. I didn't put it in the macro because I wasn't sure if I was going to need to have her spells ready, but I guess we do. As Kato gets, God, that sucked. Jesus. 21 HP back, non-lethal heals double, and gasping, you return to life with a 7-foot tall Aruxi's hand around your throat. She withdraws it and just kind of steps back.
Kato coughs, sputtering, curses, and stupid black stag mammoth mastodon thing. No honor, it's verbal diarrhea of various words regarding like honor, outrage.
Makes
So
sense.
you kind of throws like a glance at him. Thank you, Dazia, for giving him breathing life back into him.
She nods.
After another cough and sputter, Kato rights himself and gives a slight bow to the Aruxi. Yes. Thank you, friend. I am in your debt. And he looks over to Senya. And yours as well. Had you not arrived when you did, I don't even think this one's healing magic would have been able to bring me back.
Do not doubt my prowess, Warmblood. You would not be the first I brought back from Pharasma's clutches.
I don't doubt it.
Senya turns to Dazi again and asks her, Has Divicos been this cantankerous in your care all this time?
Only when he's not isolating himself, yes. Since the battle, he's carried it. She taps her, like, sternum. Close to him. He has a lot of things he's working out. We try to stay out of the way. It is not on us to take care of him. We simply offer him and his companion shelter. Certainly there's nowhere else for him to go.
Senya sighs a bit. Well, I hope whatever it is that he's going through, he works it out. I really do hope that he understands that he cannot go against the world all by himself. He will need friends. And we appreciate your hand in friendship as well.
Indeed.
And she extends her hand to kind of for a handshake.
And she takes it. Her hand is about as big as your head. Just like big grasp up to the forearm, basically shakes it. And speaking of friendship, you are the one in charge, yes? Turns to Kato.
As he brushes the dirt and grass off of his tunic. Yes, I did not make the most grandest of appearances. I understand, but I am Cato Sicarius. I am leader of the Reclaimers and king of Concordia.
And I am the matriarch of what remains of every Iruxi tribe in this part of the world. You, and you, turning to the two of you, and I'm assuming the hilarious little one has also told your friends, now know that this particular part of the world is our ancestral spawning grounds. The spirits guard this place, and every year, when the time comes for our young to hatch, it is done here. We will die to defend this, but I don't think you'll be attacking anytime soon. So, on the condition that you will allow the assembled... She kind of like stares off into space at this. The assembled tribes, what remains of them, to wander freely under the stars, and that you will not compromise our ancestral homes. We would be honored, both to help you with the immediate troubles, and to form a more long-term alliance. We know these lands, we have plenty of meat, we have plenty of, well, more than enough provisions to last all of us for several winters. Unfortunately, what we lack is a blacksmith's forge. My scouts have informed me it's not quite the case for you. I believe we could make a trade, yes?
Tara just tapped me on the shoulder and was like nodding, and then said, "They are really good scouts." She's so cute.
As if on cue, like a bright bluish greenish caiman pops out of the water and then turns into an Iruxi and then runs off.
Oh, wow.
We are a very inquisitive people, and most of us are in tune with the natural world.
I can see that. Well, I can assure you, although I'm sure my word only carries so far, actions will have to speak for the rest of it. We have no intention on causing any harm to you or yours, or any harm to your sacred spawning pool, your sacred lands here. Should you help us, and we are always on the lookout for valuable allies. Should you help us in our time of peril, you can count on a friend to help defend you should anyone or anything seek to bring harm upon you and yours as well. And of course, sharing of resources, that goes without saying. We have recently finished, I don't know if it's done yet, but we are either recently in the process of constructing or have recently constructed a brand new blacksmith back at the capital. So I see no reason their commerce could not commence between us as well.
She nods again.
Is this a Paragon Mass Effect playthrough we got going on right now?
For now, it'll be Renegade
For
the
now.
next time he runs into a mite and no one's looking.
You got to keep things fresh.
True neutral.
True neutral.
She extends a massive arm to you as well. And then so it is.
I'm going to do like the bro handshake, where they grab
boy.
elbows. You know what I'm talking about? Like forearms kind of smack. And yeah, I'm going to do the bro shake. Just because I can.
Really hope they don't reach that way, and it's really awkward. That's what I hope.
It's probably more like you
Kato's
try to
arm.
grab her forearm, but your hand can't get around it.
Oh, right.
It'd be like trying to grab like her calf, almost.
Fair enough. Okay, just a handshake will do then.
I suppose we should consider getting back to your home. My
Yes,
warriors will guard our young, but I'm worth more than a few of them.
Have of the speaking of that, have your people in this area spotted any movements of any large groups of trolls or other humans, cultists, things of that nature? We are currently trying to find out exactly where this threat is coming from. We know it's on the way. We haven't pinpointed where they are yet. Have there been any suspicious activities out in the wilderness in this direction?
There have not. The trolls are smart enough to avoid us. She snaps her fingers and a little bit of like a spark of flame runs up and down them. They learned after the first time that I'm not to be trifled with.
Very good. I imagine they won't be hard to spot, especially if what I am led to believe is true. They are marching, they're traveling in large numbers currently. Do you have anyone available? I don't want to obviously impose too much, but you know these lands and can move through them far easier than we can. And if there was anyone you trusted to perhaps, take a look around, see if they're able to spot anything in the vicinity.
I suppose I could do it myself. In any case, I expect you want a faster way home than that boat.
Cato kind of cocks his eyebrow. What did you have in mind? He's hoping you don't pull out another mastodon.
No mastodons. Only... Have you ever flown before?
Only in my dreams.
And she reaches out a hand, a massive, massive hand, and like...
Might I interject, my lord?
She she probably thinks she is gingerly touching you on the shoulder to impart the spell. But it's more like she pushes your shoulder down 15 degrees, and then Cato feels himself floating.
Whoa.
And you, Black Stag?
There is something on the way home that we have left that we need to pick up. I'm more, I should be able to carry the Hell Knight body, right? I'm strong.
More
You're
or less.
Not flying, but
Okay.
can she do a flying?
Yeah, between the three of us, we can figure it out. Work up a system
Okay.
of harnesses and drag the thing.
Just tie a rope around it and just drag it. Yeah.
Got a helicopter airlifting.
just,
Well, we can,
just airlifting a corpse in jet black armor.
I meant just dragging it. It doesn't need to be.
It's like
Well,
holding down
There-
the left stick in old Fallout games, and you pick up a body, and it's just ragdolling across the stolen lands. Oh, God damn it.
Dazia, there is some disturbance that we came across on our way here. Are you familiar with the witch that lives a little northeast of you?
I am, yes.
Well, we believe that she may have been abducted, and there was signs of struggle at her home. There is a dead body there that we would like to bring back with us to help our spy master discern of its origins and whereabouts.
Indeed. You wish to speak with the corpse?
You can do that?
She nods.
Oh my god, we have a necromancer.
I think clerics can do that too, man.
This is amazing. Our companion is actually able to discern information from their belongings, not the corpse itself. I don't know how I feel about animating
No.
a hell
Not
knight.
what do you... Necromancy is anathema to the natural world. I simply ask my ancestors to drag the spirit back from the River of Souls, put it in the body. We ask it a few questions and then send it on its way. Nothing unnatural.
Nothing unnatural.
Mm. You'll have to excuse me. I am not. I'm still alien to your ways and your cultures. So, it looks to Senya. Does this jive with you?
Story checkout.
Story check.
I seem to recall our shaman have that ability as well. It is a very ancient and a very it's a very ancient tradition. I'm not sure how the rest of our council may feel about it.
Well, they don't have to be present. We could do it at the hut. It's right off the Tuskwater.
That is true.
Dazia nods. Well, we should waste no time then. Come,
Yes.
Blackstag. And she tags you on the shoulder as well, and then, like, tags herself, and all three of you.
Fly!
The thing about overland flight is it allows you to cover a 64-mile, like, area in 8 hours. So
Nice.
you're gonna get back to Concordia around the same time that Jubilost, Ionia, Arcturus do, with still having plenty of time to tag up at words are hard. Tag up at Amalia's hut and grab the body.
Nice.
Said body.
How long does...
Still there.
All right, that body's still there. All right.
Well, get up and walk
Do
away.
your-
No necromancy here.
All right. Do your thing. Let's see what this
This is happening at the hut or back
at the hut.
Okay.
Somewhere where no one can stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
So-
why you presume we would have an issue with it, but
I don't know. It just seems
Nothing like necromancy, man.
For the record, I don't have an issue.
Necromancy entails, like, a body animated not with the soul but with the power of the
all right.
person.
I mean-
control.
If I'm perceiving this completely the wrong way, then yeah, let's bring the body with us first, and that way everyone can be present
Here's
to this.
what I thought is,
horrific
like,
act.
Yoni is obsessed with secrets and hidden knowledge and crap like that. She'd be so into this.
She'd be pissed if she got left out too, wouldn't she?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a good old-fashioned Inquisition. So
Okay.
We're
All right.
gathering
We're actually
information.
really
Alright.
about this.
Yeah, but how does
The ghost of
Kali-
Ionia and Arcturus.
Actually, it probably makes more sense too. How long is this fly spell going to last? Right? We don't want to just like land, do a whole ritual, and then like have to take off again. Let's just grab
10
the body.
hours.
Okay.
how does Kalira feel about that?
No. Yes, I guess on that note, I guess that's how we'll say, sure. The stag's head, boar's head, that almost got real weird. The boar's head is kind of just like right off the main drag. So Kalira, after having a wonderful day, eating all the food in Oleg's house, or Oleg's business, somehow worse, comes strolling out just in time to see Arcturus, Ionia, and Jubilost raggedly hustling back into Concordia, while Senia, Kato, it probably draws a crowd of oohs and ahs as you, like, Superman fly your way in with Dazia right behind you. And
So sick.
you all land in the courtyard, or in the courtyard. I've said it too. You all land outside Oleg's.
Somebody do that. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
Plane.
No, it's a
Oh,
corpse.
it's just Kato.
Can I
It's a carrot.
can I do a superhero landing?
Sure.
It's terrible on your knees.
So, be consistent with the reflection that Ionian I did. I would have been here. We would have been here just a little while longer before they got here.
Okay, cool. So then everybody.
I would have noticed it like coming in. That's something I would hope I would perceive.
That's not hard to see. I can't imagine that the oohs and ahs are quiet. Kalira comes out of the boar's head, and your king is flying home.
No, she just shake her head. Fucking, the hell is all this?
And
I see our warden is making good use of her time here, rallying the troops and getting them ready for combat, aren't you? Let's see. Points at the bit of stew dribbling from the corner of her mouth.
What are you talking about? You wanted me to yell at a bunch of farmers about how to swing a sword all day?
I would be surprised if you'd done it for an hour.
Yeah, my job isn't to train anyone. We got people for that.
You are in charge of the militia, sir, or ma'am.
that doesn't mean I trained them.
Just
Tell them where to go.
So I arrived. Does just real quick? Does Arbiter ping the Aruxi as chaotic?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Thank Kill it. Friends, we have bad news. When
But you sound so
you see he's so super excited, right? He's like super happy. He was just flying. This is amazing. He's like couldn't be happier. And then all of a sudden, like he's like, oh wait, shit, poop. Bad news, guys.
We also have bad news. Terrible news.
No, we have good news.
No, we don't.
We have some good
The news apparently is mixed at best. Oh, hello, Mistress Dacia, matriarch of the Nexarvu Horde. Bows real big, does Jubilost. Dacia moves forward and like taps Jubilost on the head and almost like puts him in the ground. Hello, little one.
Oh, you know this one.
Yes, he was sent on a scouting mission, I believe. Stopped in. Well, we were going to kill him. Said some choice words. There was this issue with a fairy dragon. You understand?
More than you could know.
Fortunately, the situation was diffused. We invited him in, shared a meal, and yet here he is. And I'm very sure that he did not tell the Warmbloods of the location of our spawning ground. Yes?
What spawning ground?
Jubilost begins stuttering really, really hard, casts glibness on himself, and it's a 46.
Oh, wow.
And how about the arbitrary rolls go? Why did I close her sheet? She's the sheet we need more than the Mastodon. Be gone, Mastodon! That rhymed. Does it immediately go to hell? Negotiations, we're short. No, okay, never mind, we're good. Of course, why would he do that? He's too busy feeding his damn fairy dragon. Also, when I call the spirit of this one, and she drags the Hell Knight's body, like, roughly through the mud by one of the horns on it. Actually, no, by the cape. By the cape, like, across the mud, face down. When I conjure his spirit and ask him what the hell he was doing at my friend's home, should we do it here in public, or is there somewhere away from prying eyes? I assume your culture frowns upon necromancy.
And that was the bad news I was about to bring up. Yes, let's take the dead Hell Knight inside. Does Arcturus have any visible expression when he sees the...
Oh, you bet I do.
I'm sorry, necromancy?
I'm not going to animate him. His soul will only be forced into the body against its will for long enough for us to figure out what happened. A semblance of life, not unlife.
Well, I am 100% not okay with this.
But you...
I'm joking.
You lie.
Let's do it.
You know, Senya takes everything literally. You can't joke about those.
I would have.
Oh, you should know by now I joke about everything.
Okay.
It became clear what it was, who it was. I would have taken a step back, and my expression would probably
be what?
I'm trying to. It'd be a mixture. It'd be very hard to convey, but it's both anger and.
What knowledge would it be to know that these are Hall Knights?
History, local, nobility. Arcturus just knows.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Ionia, yeah, you've got basically everything that I told Kato. You probably have never seen a Hell Knight before, but it's not
I've read about
unlike
them in
running into a...
books.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, on that note, old boy is here, isn't he? Juby, it's time for you to make a knowledge check. Tell everyone about this bastard. Which one are you good at the most?
Well, I want to hear it from Arcturus, the man who's from Cheliax, after all.
Jubilost is basically on the same page as Ionia. Well,
You're up.
well, I didn't realize we were being inquisited upon. That's splendid. Should we pack? We should pack right now. I don't feel
We are quite a ways from Cheliax.
Before we start talking about questioning the body and everything like that, I think I still need to describe to you what we ran into out there. So Amalia.
Oh, and then we
was
need
not
to
at-
describe to you what we ran into.
Yeah, precisely. Amalia was not at her home. Worse than that, Amalia's home was destroyed. It looked like a patrol of like a large group. I think Senya counted their tracks to be like half a dozen to a dozen of them,
Couple dozen.
or a couple dozen
Wow.
Hell Knights had rampaged through the hut. This was the only one there, dead, clearly killed by Amalia, if I was going to fathom a guess, and Amalia nowhere to be seen. Whether she
Clearly, if
escaped,
I were to guess.
Can I do a heal check to see what killed him while he's talking?
Yeah, by all means.
either Amalia escaped, which would be the ideal scenario, or she has been apprehended. Wow, nice. Or she has been captured by them. So not only do we have trolls, do we have cultists who want to destroy our civilization, but we have an army of Hell Knights out there wreaking havoc.
Arcturus, it's pretty clear when you get the helmet off. A choice amount of electricity applied directly to the forehead. It's a mess.
Amalia.
I have
He
a
was-
couple of questions.
Real quick, I just want to convey to the group. He was killed with the same sort of spell we saw Amalia use on the troll.
Okay. Well, we know that she was no fan of really any of all of this, so that makes sense. Is it normal for the Hell Knights to leave their dead behind? That seems like if you're not like in a battle or something, why wouldn't they bring the body back with them?
It would inform Arcturus without rolls that they left in a really big hurry, and as far as this particular Hell Knight order is concerned, you've just committed theft because you've taken all of his gear. And the body, I guess I should say. They probably also would like to bury him somewhere, but mostly it's like he's got his armor.
So if they ever came back, they'd be like, oh, those...
You have unlawfully obtained Hell Knight plate owned by da-da-da-da-da on this date that here is the find of da-da-da-da, or we'll kill you.
Or punishment by death.
I would say by the description of the scene that you gave and judging by what killed him, Amalia did not go quietly, and the rest of the band is probably still pursuing her. I can say with some degree of confidence, where was the Order of the Pyre symbol?
Back of his cape. His cape specifically, and all of the horses, like the imprints of the horseshoes.
Okay. I would know the Order of the Pyre, yeah?
Yeah.
The
purging of heretics at large.
Right.
Technically speaking, anybody whose religions don't like fall within the ideals of Cheliax, the law and order, and Asmodeus is the best of all of them, but it can very broadly be applied to like people such as Ionia, who talks to her ancestors, or druids, or witches, or so on and so forth.
I'd say this symbol here is from the Order of the Pyre. And knowing their handiwork, they were probably after Amalia specifically, not very interested in us. As she was somewhat, we don't know exactly, she never divulged what she was running from, but we know she was refugee, if you will, from Cheliax.
Not to be this person, but maybe this is a good thing. She was kind of a thorn in our side. Granted, she was also helpful, but she was preventing us from expanding in that direction, and now that's not a problem. Not to mention, there were some doubts about whether we could trust her or not.
But I can say with great confidence is that we should make a decision on this. If the decision is to aid her in some fashion, then we need to be prepared. The implication, what that could mean, and the enemies that it would make.
If we do that, she better be prepared to swear her fealty to us.
Assuming she's alive, but I
Assuming
assume
she's
she
alive.
is, if only because she was beset upon by so many and they had not even returned to retrieve their fall. Who knows where they could be right now?
Given if the current political climate was a little, I don't know, more steady right now, I would absolutely say we should rush to her aid. However, we are in the midst of being besieged ourselves. Do we really want to add one more enemy to the already mounting list of people who seek to destroy us?
In order to save only one ally, one potential ally, we don't really even know where she stands.
If for whatever reason, we come across some method to aid her, then I say we take it. But I don't think we can, spend resources.
If that's
on
our
this-
decision, and I believe it is the correct one, then at the earliest opportunity, we should return this body to where it came from. The mere possession of it would be an affront of the law of Cheliax.
Tommy, is the Hell Knight armor the Chell Knight plate or Hell Knight plate or the Hell Knight leather armor?
It's definitely just a enormous suit of full plate.
It's the full plate.
It's probably
All
doing
right,
more
I don't
damage.
want it.
You can
Perfect
use.
for Kato.
The Hell Knights do have light. There is a light Hell Knight armor, which is very good.
But not for you. Oh no,
Is that what you want to do? That you want to be the
What-
king
what-
wearing Hell Knight armor?
I mean, I could redecorate it. Anyway,
I mean,
what
if I
what
played
is he,
Kingmaker, I might play.
what is he equipped with?
There is a. What time is it? 3:06. His weapon is broken, but there's he was carrying a pretty nice glaive, which has been snapped down the middle. Other than that, his cloak is probably magical, but bears the order of the that Hell Knight's sigildry on the back, and the Hell Knights would be like, aha, that's our property. He also has, which also has the Hell Knight's sigildry right on it at his belt. There's very clearly a bag of holding. What's in it, you're not
Here's
sure,
your idea.
but it's property
I say
upon
we-
property upon property of things that are not yours.
I say we take the bag of holding and dump the body back in the cabin. No one will know we took it.
Of course they'll know. Do you know who the Hell Knights are?
What-
Here is an idea.
I want to peer in the bag of holding.
Okay.
What if instead of helping Amalia, we help the Hell Knights and make a powerful ally?
I don't think that's wise.
Kato,
Hell
make a-
Knights would-
Kato looks in the bag, make a fort save for me.
Oh God! Seriously, it's a bag of holding. How
And something
dangerous
inside
is
it
this?
smells really bad.
Oh, fair enough. Well, all right. Fort save. It smells very fort savey in there.
It smells just like a fort save. Okay, so there's probably a little throw up in your mouth when you smell it, but you're able to catch your breath and close it. Smells like rotting meat in there.
What? Rotting, decaying.
Yeah,
It smells like decay.
something is rotting inside the bag. You
My
didn't
lord,
get a
I-
chance to look.
Oh,
I beg of you to return the body and all
Yes.
of its possessions as we found.
yes. And whatever's in this bag, it smells like rotting flesh, like a decaying corpse or something.
Well, pull it out. What are you doing?
No, oh
Well,
God,
before
no.
Before we do that, why don't we do this whole pull the soul from the ether, put it back into the body, interrogate and then I'll commune with my ancestors about this guy. Let's get information first before we go digging dead bodies out of bags of holding.
Well, no, we're not digging anything out. I don't want to take. I agree with Artoris that we should return it with its possessions intact. However, was it Ionia who suggested possibly seeing if we can?
Yeah,
Find
but I
an
took
ally
it
in
back
the
because I
helmets?
realized that it was a really insensitive suggestion.
Oh, why?
Because of the
From Kato's.
reflection that we.
I know, but Kato is saying actually that could we find an ally in the Hell Knights? They were they seem like a fairly organized military force or militaristic.
You do not
force.
want the attention of the Hell Knights. It wouldn't just be Amalia. it would be Ionia, it would be Senya. This order in particular is especially critical of spiritual beliefs and practices, even more than me. I would highly recommend not making an ally or enemy out of them and simply leaving them alone to the best of our ability.
Do you think they will leave us alone once they have what they've come for?
Given we can only
Maybe stay out
assume,
of their way.
we can only wonder what Amalia was very less than forthcoming about her history and didn't want to share. If they're making,
I mean, it seems pretty obvious if they have such a problem with.
They sent
Amalia has
several
results.
dozen.
Didn't follow their
Exactly.
deities, right?
they sent dozens of Hell Knights to take down one person. I think it would be wise to assume she has done something.
Well, we also know
Well,
she's quite
this-
powerful.
There's one way to find out. Shall we do
don't
the
really
ritual?
have to-
The
okay.
object reading, yeah.
Yeah, we do
Well,
have time
there's-
for that. I thought you were
there's the ob-
suggesting we go after her.
No. There's the object reading, but there's also our root
The-
sequence and question the
yeah.
spirit.
I'm worried that. Can I do like a knowledge arcana maybe?
Yeah, go for it.
I guess, can I do this?
I have a
now?
question about that ritual.
Yeah, I imagine. Well, maybe we're not asking the same thing, but I
Eh.
want to do a knowledge arcana as well with the book, to determine if we do this ritual, if the Hell Knights will be able to know that.
That's
we have
exactly
access
my
to-
question.
Yeah.
If there was anything they could do to know.
Most likely, no. It sounds like what Dazia is talking about is casting Speak with Dead on the body to force answers out. To do so, she's also going to have to cast Restore Corpse on it because you need a head from which to talk, and this guy's not doing a lot of talking, if you know what I mean. That said, there have been corner cases where a particular individual was resurrected after having the spell cast on them, and then they remember it. But they're corner cases. Most of the time,
Well-
when someone dies and comes back, their memories, like in the River of Souls, are foggy at best, but usually just don't remember any of it.
What about if we cast Speak with Dead now, and then we return the corpse, and then they cast with Dead on the same guy later on? Will he remember us speaking with him under that circumstance?
In that case, yes. The cast Speak with Dead. Has someone talked to you in the past little while, they will remember from like the
That's a
soul
pretty
side of the
specific-
point of view, right?
That's a
Well, but
pretty
it's not
specific question.
necessarily out of the question though, because what if their men go missing and they come looking and they see this guy and they're like, maybe he knows where she's gone off to, or you know.
And in any case, it will be difficult to recreate the scene, and like you're putting his head back together. So it would stand to
That's
reason that a Hell Knight signifier who casts this on a Hell Knight might very first question, have you been compromised?
That's true. Well, then why don't you touch his broken glaive thing? Because that seems to be a very iconic piece of his kit. Weapons generally, tend to be
Well,
pretty...
here's what I'll do. Give me 1 second to see if I can actually do this. Nope, I gave up that spell. Okay, yeah, I'll do the glaive.
Oh,
What-
by the way, my lord, there's a rampaging owl bear destroying the graveyard. We couldn't stop it. I couldn't even make it to the...
And I saved Jubilost, and he's going to work for significantly less money than before.
And I got to imagine you naked in front of those two.
True.
What?
We'll fill you in a little bit more later, but I just thought
So,
the owlbear has been magically enchanted and modified to be gigantic.
But the important thing here is that I'm amazing, and I'm saving us a lot of money.
I also
and-
I have also fought a mastodon while you guys were gone, and we should totally pit these two things against each other.
Why are you covered in mud?
It's a long story.
I don't think it is.
What if he's doing Kalira?
Senia, why is he covered in mud?
Well, I think Divicos's pride and ego can rival Kato's. That's all I'll say about
You got beat by a one-armed man, didn't you?
I wasn't fighting him. And it was his
Oh,
mastodon, not him. I
God.
could take
oh
if-
God.
it was
What
just
did
me
he?
and him.
What did he
wouldn't-
do? Did he like headbutt you with his atlas? Like what did he? Did he say I'll beat you with one hand, but I might? Oh wait, no. Like how did it go? That was good. This is fun.
It wasn't a fight, Kalira. I wasn't going to fight a crippled man.
Then what happened?
just drop it, Kalira.
Yes. If you want to, I've had,
Clear
I wanna-
raises her
I've had-
eyebrow.
I've had too many people.
Excuse me, if I want to
Insult me.
what? I didn't
Uh-oh.
insult you. I was just it's hilarious. You got beat by one armed man. That is funny.
He's
Sorry, we
correct.
do not
it's
see
kind
the
of
humor in
objectively
that.
funny.
It's okay. We all take a beating here, and that's what makes us stronger. Chin up and all that. Yes.
Oh, wait, no, our Taurus has
yeah.
been beaten now too.
Have I?
Yeah, by that one priest.
By the
Oh
river.
yeah. No,
Get,
that
get beaten by a
Claire.
river.
Kalira,
Yes.
I'm gonna say this once and only once.
Uh-oh.
Don't push me, or you will learn that I can start every combat in my combat stance, even before my first turn.
That is
What
very
was the reason?
intriguing. And we need to work on our intimidation lessons again. I think we might need to go back and
As
practice
this is
a bit
going
more. I
on,
think you're
Dazia has
a little
withdrawn
rusty.
another, like, a bit of a claw. Or, no, rather, like, she has crocodilian ridges running down her back. She's withdrawn another one of them, and she's kind of, like, absent-mindedly playing with it as she closes her eyes, concentrates. Just it was Zerva who was the crafter. I need your help, my friend. Come. And she
Hi,
puts her,
you got a -1 against me.
she puts her hand on the Hell Knight's shoulder, and like before y'all's eyes, the head is maybe not exactly the way it looked in life, but like a serviceable human head is formed like from mud on top of their body.
Wait, what? What?
She's just starting the ritual because we were taking too long.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I guess
We're all in
crossed
now.
the thresh. Yeah, we crossed the threshold. All
Are
right,
we,
here we
we're
go.
still out in the open. We should at least. Can we move somewhere? Let's go into the castle.
Too late.
I
This is happening.
really feel like
Wait,
Kingdom
wait.
Phase.
What if I
This
make-
would be a bad
What
idea.
if I make all of us invisible so
I'll
it doesn't?
just
We're
I'll
talking
just
who's
I'll
talking.
just tell everyone to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Hey.
Kalira, do your job for once and
Hey, what do
scatter
you?
the.
Excuse me.
Oh God.
I think you're interrupting my work. My
Oh.
liege.
You're working for once. Sorry, heaven forbid I
I'm
interrupt you.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, my work is a bit more discreet than falling in mud from a one-armed man's strike. Everyone, please, if you could just move along. This is not to concern you, and if you do look over here, you will not like it.
As she says that, Jubilost casts message and points at Iona. Did she really just say please? She said please. She has manners. My... And he's still clapping, but it's like real quiet because he's trying not to make a lot of noise right now. Just my. I'm impressed.
Ionia just shrugs and shakes her head.
And indeed, the crowd rapidly disperses. Now that a semblance of, well, this, and it's almost like taking a mannequin's head and then putting it on top of a people's head, but the people's head got hit by a sledgehammer. It'll work, but it looks real awkward. It'll work, assuming the bastard doesn't resist me. We'll be able to get 5 questions out of him. He doesn't have to answer truthfully. Also, I can only maintain concentration on this for so long.
Can Artoris's truth thing work
I
on this
doubt
guy?
it. And I slap an Abadar's truth-telling on a dead person? I doubt it.
You have magic that would force the spirit that inhabits this body to tell the truth?
Perhaps.
Then I suggest you use it.
Very well.
Wow, this thing's actually gonna come in here.
I will go ahead and apply Abadar's truth-telling to the corpse.
He's gonna say, "I could tell you, but I'd rather show you."
Stress
And then he pulls a
again.
knife on you.
We only have a little bit of time when I do this. Do not deliberate. Are you ready?
All right, 5 questions, 1 question each, basically.
If that's how you wish to cut it, sure.
Or do we want to channel our questions to make them a little more like formula?
Well, we better do it quick.
Abadar, you're the Inquisitor. Why don't you
Yo.
with the magic?
His name's not Abadar. Abadar is the
Or
deity.
Arcturus.
The clouds
How do you
part.
not know
No,
this yet?
I am the deity, foolish mortal. And then they close again.
How do I want to do this?
Want to do the interrogation? I mean, this is kind of your thing, right?
I mean, there's not that much we need to get from this person. The Hell Knights aren't our issue right now. Hell
Well,
Knights aren't
we-
involved in this coalition or in the rampaging Owlbear. They're here for
No.
Amalia. We're wasting
Well-
a lot of time.
Let's find out they're here for Amalia. Let's find out
Right,
find out
well-
as much information about the
Why?
situation as you can,
Why they are after Amalia?
and make sure that they're not after us or anyone else.
Sure,
Like
sure.
they're not. All right, do your interrogating, Inquisitor. That's what
I'll get the job done.
She puts her hand on the Hell Knight's chest. Just, ancestors, I know you're busy. Just for a moment, please help this one bring this two-legged sack of madness back into his body. We'd like to have a word with him. And she pushes down, and there's a eldritch push that goes out throughout the like a shockwave that runs through all of you. The body twitches. Comes to life. The eyes of the part of the eye is a human eye, maybe the bottom 30% of the right eye, and the left eye maybe the very, very bottom, and the rest is just this creepy, lifeless mannequin eye. The eyes open up, they're completely expressionless, looks around, sees Arcturus. Taxmaster? I didn't expect to see one of these out here. Hail.
Yes.
Ooh.
There's a quick message from Dazia. If you are not the man who he's talking to, do not let him see you. This will play in our favor.
Yes, I've come a long way from home as well. I didn't expect to see the Hell Knights out so far either. What brought you out here?
You know how it is, old friend. Hunting witches. He can't really move his body. I'm feeling a little stiffer. I'd show you my collection. Dazia, as he starts talking, she holds up a hand with 5 fingers out and then puts the thumb into her. That position is painful on my hand for some reason. Puts the pinky down. Yeah, 4 fingers still up.
Noble work. Noble work. Thank you for your service. Is there a particular witch in the area that I should be wary?
Indeed, my lord. The Derlvin wretch. We had good report she was hiding out here, no doubt responsible for what happened in that damned tower.
What tower? What happened? Here.
You
That's
say
one
that,
question.
and as Dazi's putting her finger down, she looks up real harsh. She almost hisses, but catches herself short. We're not sure. Rumors of some form of madness. By the time we'd made it, it'd all been cleared up. One less pair of ears to add to the bag, I suppose.
I heard that there was a fledgling kingdom around these parts. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh, bits and pieces. Some young noble from Restov. We heard a little bit about how he'd been disowned, but well, let's just say that how should I put this? Drunken fools who barely know the pointy end of the sword from the pointy end of their own swords have yet to muster anything short of proper civilization, law, etc., etc. Not really in our wheelhouse, you understand? So long as he doesn't go committing witchcraft or anything that might cause disorder, I'm sure his little kingdom will work out just fine. 2 figures remain. Dazia just kind of like glance sideways at Kato as she says this, or he says this rather. The Hell Knight.
You yes, well, it's probably has a long way to go before we even need to recognize it, to be honest. So this witch you're pursuing, is she powerful? I seem to have come with a lot of fellows.
It's one way to put it. Orders from command said we needed no less than 24. Granted, some of them were new recruits, having just slain their first devil. Personally, I think we might have been a little bit of overkill. After all, what's one witch in the grand scheme of things? Dazia has 1 finger remaining.
I have one final question, actually, because it came up in one of my debt collection operations. There was a Hell Knight, actually, that had fallen, and some scavengers had taken pieces of his gear and returned to their home with them. Remind me, what is the penalty for such a thing?
For stealing property of any Hell Knight order? Well, of course, Taxmaster, you would know. We kill them.
As it should be.
Is there anything else? I'm feeling very tired. Permission to be relieved?
You are relieved.
And his
Rest
body
now.
collapses.
As it should be. All right, strip him naked. You did well, Arcturus, Kato says. This is in character. I had a few out of character outbursts there.
I
you
assume
did well,
that was
Inquisitor.
profitable for you.
I think we should do an object reading to see exactly what happened in the battle between the knights and Amalia, and then promptly return this
We
gentleman.
probably should have done that first, actually. That might have given us more questions to ask.
Yeah.
Well, he
potatoes.
seemed
Anyway.
to not know of the events that led to his death. So it actually might have been problematic for the spell to be like, so you're dead. How's it going?
No, it would have been good for us to go in knowing
because
maybe,
we might have learned some information from the object reading that we didn't have to
that
burn
would
a
have
question.
informed our questions.
But it's I think we learned just about everything we needed to know that he would know. But yeah, being able to see the events of the scuffle would be great if your abilities would allow you to see such insights.
Hand over that sword.
Please.
While she's doing that, I'm going to say to Arcturus, you have a real knack for this kind of thing.
Just sort of solemnly nod. That was privately, that was pretty difficult to do.
I wonder how many he has in his bag.
Yeah, how many dead witches do you think is in that bag of holding?
I would
Over-
not like
Over under for 10 coin. Who wants to?
Not digging
Who
through.
wants this action?
We're not digging through
Will
the
you
bag
keep
of
that
witch
thing
corpses.
closed? It smells so bad.
Yeah, it's literally a cemetery in a bag. Ugh.
I mean, Nora's nose is even more sensitive than ours, the poor thing.
As if
He probably thinks it smells yummy. Yeah.
Okay, and then the object reading out, there it is. Okay, fair enough. It's super easy for Ionia now. There might be a little, like, catch in the throat, fear of being pulled into the object all the way again, but it's not hard at all. You grasp the glaive, and orders from command where you were hunting down the Durlvan swine. The split amongst 24 of you would be a lot, but you should make enough gold when you make it back to the Citadel to maybe not retire comfortably, but at least get your wife and children something nice, something extravagant. There's a bit of a tangent about how your oldest daughter has grown too attached to material things, and then suddenly you turn the corner and there's the witch's hut, and everyone draws weapons and horses go charging in. She's outside at the time. She's able to get inside and close the door. Everyone dismounts. Somebody moves to the door with a battering ram to knock the door down. Doesn't take long before that happens. She's feebly in the process of gathering up everything she possibly can that's not nailed down for her filthy witchcraft. She has some strange little blue cat beast which jumps into her pocket and then falls down some strange eldritch, you're not sure what the devil it is. She puts one hand on a tree branch that's rather a tree root that's coming up through the floor, and with her other hand, as all of you go storming into the building, chanting litanies of wrath and righteousness against this filthy cretin, she snaps her fingers, and a bolt of lightning comes flying towards your head. The last thing you see, the last thing you are aware of, she snaps her fingers again with her hand on the tree root, and she begins glowing a like bright greenish color and then is gone. And that's what you got.
Can I do a spellcraft to know what spell that was?
You may. Looked like Tree Stride, a spell which would let her... Well, I'll give you the full text. The TLDR is she could teleport to a different tree of the same kind within a pretty long range. When you cast this spell, you gain the ability to step into a tree, magically infusing yourself with the plant. Once within a tree, you can teleport from that particular tree to another tree. The trees you enter must be of the same kind, must be living, and must have a girth at least equal to yours. Given that looked like it was some kind of, I'm going to call it a U tree, sure. Which means Amalia could have shot herself 3,000 feet in any direction, and then the duration of that spell is... I think it is expended after the first one. You can move into one tree up to one time per caster level. She could theoretically do this to go thousands of miles. She could be anywhere.
All right.
I'm reserving comment for until Ionia.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just finishing my note. With a gasp of breath, Ionia kind of comes back to her own body and says, well, she's alive, or at least she was at the time this man died. She did escape. She could be anywhere.
How did she get away?
She cast a spell that allows her to basically transport herself from one tree to another tree of the same type within a certain distance. The range is pretty large. She could do this multiple times in a given day.
Oh, no.
She could do this multiple times over multiple days. She could be anywhere.
The Hell Knights clearly recognize the spell as well. They know she's in the forest. So they're still in the area. I was hoping they had gone interplanar.
The forest. It just has to be... it's a tree that she knows, right?
It is a...
or is that just 5th edition?
The trees you enter must be of the same kind, must be living, and must have girth at least equal to yours. By moving into an oak tree, for example, you instantly know the location of all other oak trees within transport range. So
Gotcha.
Which was how many feet again?
it wasn't a no.
3,000.
Well, it has the same radius. Oaks and Yews do 3,000 feet. She could do that 10 times.
Well,
And
they
that's
clearly
with
felt
one
good enough.
casting of the spell.
Yeah.
They felt good enough about tracking her that they left this gentleman behind and continued to pursue her.
My guess is that they probably did not know what spell she had cast.
Why do you think that?
Because
These are witch hunters. They would have dealt with this type of thing before, I'm sure.
maybe, but I mean, they would have no idea of knowing where she would go.
How did they know she was here to where she was to begin with? They must have a way
She
of
had been
tracking her.
living here. It's a little different to find where somebody's been living for who knows how long versus anywhere in the world they could point
Ionia,
to.
please don't underestimate the Hell Knights. They could have very easily known what spell she cast and had an idea of how to track it. We need to return this body to where we found it immediately, and that they either find her and complete their mission to return for it, or eventually give up their chase and return for it. It needs to be returned as soon as possible.
If we knew someone who could scry, we could potentially find where she's at.
Can we just smash this guy's face in? I mean, so we can do that.
I mean, I think that's
whole
a
thing.
good idea, honestly.
Does he still have a mannequin head?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to fix that.
Do that back at the hut.
Sure.
Someone should.
In case they come up on us and see somebody bashing in the skull of the Hell
I mean,
Knight corpse.
if they come upon you with it in any degree, the sentence will be the same. You can't have a worse sentence than death. We've already earned that by having it. It should be returned.
All right. At least bash the skull in like on the road or something. Load it up on the carriage or on the boat.
Can we trouble you? And I turn to the Uruxi for a fly spell.
I can return it myself if you'd like.
That would be ideal.
And without any further pomp or circumstance, she roughly throws the body like fireman carries it over her shoulders and takes off.
Thank
Well,
you, friend.
Think we can count Amalia out for the time being. And I was not able, as I mentioned, to make it to the Soot Scales. I hope you had better luck. Well, I see clearly you had better luck with the Uruxi. What am I saying?
We did, kind of. We've got one Uruxi who has agreed to help us.
One?
They're the one you just met, their leader. The rest are not willing to abandon their spawning pool. I guess it is child rearing season or something. I don't know how, but they cannot leave the spawning grounds. With that said, she is quite capable and is a fantastic healer.
I might need to. Well, first of all, that's excellent news. Second of all, I could make a second attempt at reaching the Soot Scale Caverns, but I will need the boat to travel up the river. As I mentioned, where the land is blocked. There's an owl bear, the scope of which you cannot even imagine.
Huge.
Between us and the bridge.
It's bigger than the dragon was.
Was there any? And it was last seen at the graveyard.
Yes.
Right.
Were there
Having
any?
the time of its life.
Was there anything else that you noticed accompanying it, or was it just on its own?
It seemed to be alone. We didn't see any recent footprints beyond just the scout who initially told us that the cemetery had been desecrated in the first place. But here's what I'm thinking, though. This thing had a relationship with that guy who Cal cut open. So maybe we
Which
could
one?
The bloated one, the one that was in the pool.
I know. I'm just saying because he's cut open a lot of people.
And
I didn't cut
she?
that guy.
yeah, you
Oh
did.
no!
No,
Like,
I didn't.
Didn't you pop him?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Why do we all remember?
Yeah, I recall
So,
you.
I don't know that. I had your dog drag it over so that the
After.
creatures would go after it, and then the creature popped it.
Oh,
No, I think wasn't it you popped because inside the
I
shambler there was a corpse that you.
I threatened to
Maybe,
pop
I'm
it.
It was
Oh.
pretty
threatened to
incorrect
pop
for
it.
a while.
Either
Certainly,
way.
it's a very
Oh,
in-character
that's what it
thing for
was.
Kalira to have tried to do.
Either way, that guy had all sorts of things to communicate with animals and such, and it's the object reading I had done on the token that he was holding seemed like he had a relationship with this particular owlbear. I believe it's the same one because Aisling had mentioned that the owlbear she had seen was an abomination, and this thing was definitely an abomination. And anyways, so I think it could be reasoned with, maybe if we try to talk to it or something.
Well,
Also, it might be like cursed or something.
Yes,
and we
that's
could
my.
maybe
Oh my.
we could maybe dispel the curse. Okay, I'm done.
Just kind of smile at Ionia's unnecessary excitement, given that we almost died. No, from examining the creature, I believe that it has been magically either cursed or enhanced in some fashion, and probably, if I were to guess, it's been whipped into kind of a frenzy by our foes and just sort of set upon, like, let loose to be a menace. They probably don't have any direct control over it, I would imagine. And so there is part of me that thinks we could dispel the curses and perhaps reason with the creature, much like the floating body did. And maybe even recruit it to help us in the upcoming days. But it would be a great risk to attempt such a thing. The creature is very dangerous. It's very fast.
It's so big.
Perhaps we could subdue it before attempting to break its curse.
I might be
I
able
think
to.
breaking its curse would make it easier to subdue it, to be fair.
I can just pile on another. Well, the problem is if we dispel magic. I mean, this is a mechanical point of order, but if I put an additional thing on it to subdue it, and then we start casting dispel magic on it, we'll actually dispel my. Oh wait, no, Tommy, you can target a particular thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
With dispel.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
never mind.
also, Kalira can like cut through magic. Apparently.
Oh yeah.
Just run up and spell sunder it.
So between the two of us, we should have a good chance at
debuffing it, at
getting
least,
this
or
thing,
dispelling it. Yeah.
getting this thing back to just a normal owlbear.
Kalira
And then
blocks the
Senya
owlbear
can
on
talk
the head.
to
It
it.
shrinks real
That would
hard.
actually be. Wait.
Well, since we're all here, I think we have better chances against it than when we were split up.
But I also think it's worth pointing out that we have not slept since
What are you
the
doing?
night before last.
We slept last night.
I thought we didn't. I thought we came back in like the wee hours of the morning from the underground caverns, and then all of this happened immediately after that.
We went straight to bed when we got home, and I
Yeah.
postponed the morning council meeting to the afternoon, and that's why.
I forgot that we had slept. Okay, I was operating under the impression that I was like down spell slots and all this stuff.
Did you not listen to my reflection where I was shaving the burn marks off of my hair
I
at night?
tuned out after like the third class.
As you do. As you do.
Well, now I know not to. All right.
Is that the plan
Yes.
then? We want to Wonderkin assemble and try and go to
So
graveyard?
we should approach with the cautiously optimistic, with the intent of subduing it and dispelling it if it seems feasible. But should the risk prove too great, we should not hesitate to simply put it out of its misery, as it's a threat to us and to everyone who lives here if we are not able to.
Should we bring more help?
This could also be a distraction, to lure us away in order to. I mean, this could just be, as you said, here to rampage and cause issues, or it could be here specific. It could have been unleashed here specifically to draw us away from Rooston.
My concern is that it's technically within our borders.
Yes.
It is not that far from town. It has an excellent sense of smell. And if the direction of the wind has changed or does change, it could smell a tasty feast on the horizon.
It could end up on our doorstep, and then we'll have to worry about it rampaging through our town before we can mobilize to stop it. So Yeah, I do not think this is a threat we can ignore or even delay on. So what is the subdue plan? We have Dispel Magic, we have Spell Sunder, and then we have some Scroll of Talking to Animals things.
It's a ring.
And
A ring?
It's a ring of animal French. I don't know. Is that
have
even
a
an
ring.
animal? I think it's an animal.
What knowledge check would that be? Nature?
Knowledge nature, yeah.
So Ring of Animal Friendship.
I'm gonna use tireless logic on that one.
Alrighty, so it works on an owlbear. Technically, an owlbear is a little more than an animal because it was engineered magically. But since it's possessing of animal level intelligence, it still could be susceptible to the spell. It will be a little harder against an owlbear, in the same way it would be harder against a hydra, but looks like it happened once before.
I mean, it's a Hail Mary attempt that if it fails, then we just put it down.
Yeah.
But
okay, so
we attempt, and then plan A, and then plan B is we just put it down.
Right. We have the ring. We have 2 potions of Speak with Animals. We have the Spell Sunder. We have the Dispel. Any other tools we want to use for this?
So
would a Speak with Animals be an animal handling check or a diplomacy check if we were trying to talk it?
If you cast Speak with Animals on it,
you can ask questions.
That would take it from handle animal to diplomacy.
So Speak with Animals isn't going to help us all that much unless we can subdue it and charm it and get it calmed down.
Well, we don't necessarily need to subdue it in order to charm it.
Right. Well, we're going to have better
be
luck.
less likely to listen to us.
Well, if we bring it food, maybe we go hunting. We bring it a nice big.
Sorry.
meal.
By subdue, I meant get the curses off of it and bring it down to.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you meant attack it, and I was like, I think we should. I think if we attack it, it's going to make it more hostile.
Right.
It's not Pokemon, you know.
Yeah. So this Speak with Animals potion just lets you ask questions and receive answers from animals. It doesn't make them any more friendly than normal. Wary and cunning animals are going to be evasive. If the animal's already friendly towards you, it may do some favor or service for you. But it allows you to speak, basically ask questions, and they don't even have to tell you the truth. But it's like Speak with Dead. It's like what we just did.
Well, we could still get information from it, but we do have the Ring of Animal Friendship.
Yes, that is going to be more useful.
I'm sorry, but mechanical question. How does that exactly?
The Ring of Animal Friendship, I will.
Allows you to cast Charm Animal on it, which is the same as Charm Person, except it affects a creature of the animal type instead of the person type.
Except of an animal instead of the person type. Yes, indeed, he is correct.
Okay. So it basically gives us a one-use charm attempt on it, basically.
It's not permanent, though. Is it?
It follows the same duration as charm, like the spell.
Mm-hmm. Which is minutes per level, I believe.
So it'll be short. But if it's enough to...
Oh, it's actually hours per level, it looks like.
Is it? No, fair enough.
Yeah.
You can tell I don't play enchanters often.
All right, so if we can dispel the curses... If we can dispel the curses and then charm it, then we might even be able to go as far as to use the animal conversations with it in order to try to get information about, where are the people who cursed you? Who did this?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the bad people that did this to you? It doesn't have to be forthcoming with information, but if these things harmed it and caused it agony, it's probably likely going to tell us, because if we make sure it knows that we're here to help. And
we all keeping in mind that it is
a what? I just heard.
And Kalira passes into the land of the dead.
With that all said, this is all great, and I love how this plan is super optimistic. Oh yeah, we're gonna.
But before we go in, we should also be combat ready, which means that I'm gonna need some time to prepare because I'm going to be much more efficient in combat if I have like a minute before we go in.
You can have prep time, but we're not having a kingdom turner.
No, she just means
No, I
take
just-
like
She doesn't
30
need a
seconds
month,
before we
she
go
needs
in,
8 hours.
so we don't have to cast our buffs in our first turn, and we
Exactly.
instead enter
Because
combat.
Because
with
basically what happens is like Artoris and I spend our first several rounds like buffing ourselves and making ourselves like actually efficient in combat, and then by
the
that
combat's
point
over because the
everything.
barbarians have sundered everything instead.
Right. So what we're asking is that before we just rush in, since this is one we can prepare for, we like hold back a minute, cast
Sure.
up all of our buffs, and
This
then
will give
go
me
in.
a chance to activate both of my stances on
You can stand
So I
however.
said-
because I get to activate one at the start of combat before I even have my first turn. But then
You back,
activating
Tibor?
the
Yeah, so yeah. I don't know if you guys heard me, but what I was trying to convey was that I don't know if you guys went over this, but it is a dumb animal. Just because we can talk to it doesn't mean we can technically reason with it. I just want to make sure everyone is aware.
Right. We just want to, if we do get the opportunity to talk with it, we just want to know where the bad people are that did this to it.
We are
If it can at
prepared
least-
to kill it.
Yes.
We just want to see if we can get information from it first.
Because that's what I'm saying. I don't know what it would know. Because it's dumb.
Well, it's not. It's more intelligent than that's what Tommy's been saying.
Oh,
is
it
that
is.
owl bears are more. It's like not, a human being, but it's definitely not like mindless and
And
like
when
brutish.
you cast speak with animals, there's a bit of a mechanical translation difference. I will say, like, your character will know exactly what it needs to convey to an owlbear or an animal intelligence creature to get a meaningful response from the animal intelligence creature. You don't need to, like, if you want to know where the trolls are, you don't need to be like, where are big green skin, 2-leg, eat stuff, grow back? Where that, please? You can, like, in
Alright.
character, your character will say the right words to get the information. Otherwise, that's
And
just
is
worthless.
it gonna be diplomacy or animal check?
Diplomacy, because you will then be conversing with someone. Handle animal
guess
is sit boy.
So I guess we're giving it to Kato, the ring.
No good.
Giving what to
Kato
me?
has to go play nice with an owlbear.
The ring?
That would probably be. I mean, I've got
Are
the
you the best for that?
charisma for
I
it.
would hope so.
Yeah,
What is it? Handle animal?
No, it's diplomacy.
Oh, it is
Diplomacy?
diplomacy check.
Diplomacy.
Okay.
Oh, my diplomacy is pretty good.
So I have a. What's your diplomacy? What's your plus?
9.
Yeah, I'm 11.
All right. Our hopes and dreams lie with you.
Uh-oh.
11 is pretty lit.
Okay.
Sure.
So,
I
Self
think,
an
I think we
owlbear
can
friend.
assist though, right?
And you can give me an assist. I'm sure. Well, no, because
Oh,
you
I
won't.
can't hear
you
you.
won't
Be
be
in
able to.
combat.
Oh, what? Well, no. Like, does that potion work on the person?
yes, it gives the
So
person.
then you
Yeah,
can
there's
both
two,
do it.
There's 2 potions. Yeah.
Well,
so I
there's
can
the
assist
ring.
them.
There's the ring, and you can drink the potion.
Yeah, so Del
Yeah.
wears the ring. We both drink the potion. I assist Del.
2 people
Well, we
can drink
both-
1 potion.
Why would you
Wait,
both?
hold on. The ring is the spell.
Yeah.
To cast charm,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cast charm.
which then would allow you to talk to animal, to
Right.
talk to him.
Which will
Yes,
make
so he
animal
doesn't
friendly.
he
will
doesn't
do
need
both.
the.
Oh, he
he
doesn't need the
does.
potion.
Well, either way, the first thing we have to worry about is sundering and dispelling the effects. It's possible that an extremely powerful spellcaster slammed these on him, and we're not even going to get.
That's possible.
Oh yeah, because we're not going after the owlbear's will. We're going after
Oh.
the caster's will, which could probably be like the leader of these tags or something. Like it could be some crazy.
But it's
Level
still fun. Like it brings me back to session 1, just like
Yeah.
planning everything out, just to know
And
that
then
it's
it just
all
goes
going to be
down.
ripped out from underneath
Yeah.
us anyway.
That
I
could have
wish I
gone
could-
really well, though. You guys had a good idea. But
With that said,
the
is
rolls were just way
my
against you.
masterwork chain shirt ready yet? Can I check on that?
No.
If we're gonna
It will
march out
be-
to fight an
enough
owlbear.
time has passed from running around that you guys are gonna, unless you want to go after this thing in the dark, you are gonna
'Cause,
want to stay tonight.
Are we going to hunt some fresh game for this thing? Is that possible? Is that?
Senny
the
could
thing?
do that. Senny could try to hunt some like
Yeah,
a deer.
but
or
I mean, we're gonna need more than that.
We just need to get his attention away from us so that we get the drop on it.
I have a wagon. We could pile a few things back there.
We had a bag of holding full of corpses too.
Uh,
I thought of that earlier, but I intentionally didn't bring it up.
I don't know.
Smart.
I think Owlbear would appreciate fresh meat.
I'm sure this one
Probably.
seems,
Based
this
on
seems-
what
this-
I saw, it caught one whiff of Jubilost and went right for him after having his pick of the graveyard.
So Tommy, what time is it? Is it late?
It's between y'all woke up late, had a meeting, had a revelation, and then ran about.
Alright.
It's probably real late at this point.
All right, so
Either
we've got
way,
the city. We've got the city on lockdown. Sorry, go ahead, Ionia.
Spell slots.
Oh, spell slots. Cool, good. We've got the city on lockdown. Senya, make sure. I mean, do your job, but make sure that not Senya, Kalira. Sorry, I said the wrong name.
I think you keep forgetting that it is actually her job to.
Okay.
To carry you through
Not
master.
We're-
mine.
Make sure.
It's just easy to forget what you do because all you do is sit idle legs and eat porridge.
Yeah, really. With that said, let's make sure we have sentries and have the road between here and the graveyard patrolled so that if the owlbear does approach the town throughout the night, that we can be alerted immediately and jump to action. Everybody have your equipment at the ready so that...
Might I suggest, instead of a patrol, you simply set up a watch at a very distant perimeter. You will see it coming. You don't need to get close, and I'm concerned a patrol might be caught by surprise in the sense that you could get a whiff of them and then be on them before they'd know.
A watch, then, at the perimeter.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Very good.
Very good. Very, very good. All right, I'm going to go get my beauty sleep.
And in the morning, the chain shirt is complete.
Yeah. All right, let me update my character sheet real quick. I'm gonna put that shit on. Just gotta get this bad boy enchanted. Actually, no, I'm not, because I need my mithril chain coat, and then I'll worry about getting that bad boy enchanted later. But this is just a hold me over. So how much did that cost? Chain shirt is just want to reduce that from my
Masterwork chain shirt, and you get it for at cost, basically. So 50% off.
So 150 plus. All right, so 150 gold. Cool, done.
Alrighty.
And that is AC4. Okay.
In the night, there's probably nothing happens. Everyone is safe. Everyone rests. Everybody gets their spell slots back. You do hear the sounds of the thing out in the night. It's not quiet. And it's as big as it is, its cries would echo for miles and miles and miles and miles.
Okay.
Other than that, the night passes just fine.
Oh, wonderful.
How can anyone sleep with that racket?
Except for
Like
watch.
a baby.
Keep watch. I haven't slept since this campaign started. Our shoulders are just twitching hard. I've seen some shit. I saw Kato naked in a giant owlbear.
That's true. I did see that.
This still hasn't been explained to Kato, by the way. He's just like,
Yeah,
what are you
you're just gonna just
let that go.
yeah. The less you know, the better.
Off. Anytime it
Yeah.
comes up, just God damn it.
All right, so the
Um,
morning comes. We are assembled as Avengers.
Did the Uruxi return to us, or did they go back home?
She returns. She
Okay.
is at the council when council is convened.
Welcome back, friend. I take it you were able to return the body with no altercations?
She nods.
Good. I would have hated to hear that the Hell Knights had caught up with you.
Presumably, this will be the last we hear from them.
Hopefully.
Dear Amalia could be anywhere by now. I believe the taxmaster is correct. I believe they will have a decent idea where she went, probably can scry her, and their search continues. I'd be less concerned at this point for her, and more concerned if their search should happen to put Rooston or any of our people in the line. You understand?
Unfortunately, I do.
Unfortunately, the questions that Artur's asked steer them away from that potential issue. So that was some good news.
Until they turn
With all
the
that said,
corner
we have
and
a
see that myself, or, and she turns towards Iona and nods, communes with powers other than the powers they permit, and suddenly we're on the stretching rack. I think
Yes,
I'm
well.
already tall enough as it is.
Yes, well, that is a bridge we will cross if it ever comes. We have a much more pressing matter that needs our immediate attention. While you were gone, we have let's just say we have a massive, bloated, cursed creature rampaging just outside the city. Seems to have been sent by our enemies, the hags, cultists, trolls, this amalgamation of pitiful creatures that seem dead set on ending us here. Seem to have unleashed this mad beast on our doorstep. Likely as a distraction to cause, but also probably to cause chaos, destruction, and possibly death. We have to deal with it.
She nods.
We have a plan to hopefully dispel whatever curse has been placed upon it and attempt to reason or otherwise tame the beast. I don't suppose you know anything about that process?
You're asking the right questions at the right time. I literally was just right on that. What does she know? It's entirely possible. Certainly my magic could cause it to sit down and play nice as we do this. It's not unheard of for someone to take up. The creation of the owlbear is a travesty unto itself. But I've heard cases from whence we come. Someone would do the same with, say for an example, a triceratops. It goes rampaging, it's given an unnatural desire to destroy everything in its path. Sometimes you have to just go stroke it behind the ears and say, who's a good boy? You understand, yes?
No, I don't know what this is. A treasure. Does
Does
it have 3 legs?
No.
Why is it?
Horns, actually.
What?
Perhaps one day, when we have a little more downtime, I will take you to my home and...
No. Is it outside?
Yes,
No.
home is outside.
No. All right, well, we can definitely muse about future
Senia, we have a
mythical
job
creatures.
to do. Let's go do this hunting. Let's get this over with.
Yes.
Okie doke.
Okay. Is
Or
that
is
a,
that survival?
is that a everybody leaves at once kind of thing, or is it the barbarians are out the door?
Sounds like they're going hunting.
They're gonna go hunt a deer or something.
Oh, I thought they were just gonna try to solo the boss. I kind of believe them.
Let's go, get at it.
Yeah, we're gonna go hunt. Oh,
Rip.
We lose this time.
Just our stalker.
What?
Svensk.
Sven.
Bye,
yeah.
Sven.
We love you if you watch this recording. I was just kidding.
Can I
about the
go-
stalker thing.
Someone should entreat Jod. He might be able to give us some aid in this
Sounds like your job.
encounter.
Holy man.
Uh,
Yeah, go
A good
make
opportunity for you to mend broken bridges. While they're
Ugh.
hunting. Yeah, go talk to them while they're hunting.
Okay. So the
Fine.
barbarians are deer hunting.
I seek out Jod.
Well, I was actually hoping for some better game than deer. I mean, like the bigger the better. I got this whole cart.
The
Like if we can
barbarians
find
and moose hunting.
if we can find an do we have
A
moose on?
mastodon.
Probably, yeah.
Hunt a
Stands to
mastodon.
reason. I mean,
I mean,
like,
a
if
moose-
megafauna exists out here, you could probably find, like, a megaloceros. That's
I
terrifying.
mean, actual bear? Would an owl bear eat an actual bear?
Knowledge nature.
Hmm.
I'm sure it would.
I mean, I don't doubt it.
Intimidating
That's it.
glare. Nice.
Sounds
GM, let me get what I want! Claire starts
14.
glaring. No, you've seen him before. You spent the night with an owlbear trying to get at you a long, long time ago in what has become your home. An owlbear will eat whatever you put in front of it.
Yeah. So bigger the better.
Bigger the better. Okay, Arcturus goes to talk with Jod. How about Ione and Kato?
I am standing with the sentry, actually the one we set out on watch, keeping an eye to see if there's any movement in that direction from the. So
Okay, sounds good.
ready to spring into action if anything was to approach.
How's about
I
Ione?
am making a battle plan
And she is making a battle plan.
It's gonna go
Okey-dokey.
right out the window.
So we're
to
gonna.
reflect.
What are you
No,
gonna
this is-
what are you writing
I'm-
it down?
Yeah, well,
She
yeah,
is, yeah.
I'm mapping out all of the different things I need to cast before we go into battle.
She's getting
Dear
buffed
Diary.
now. That's Dear Diary, Shield, Mage Armor. I don't know, Iona's spell list. Maybe Invisibility. Probably.
Shield,
Invisibility.
Pass Without a Trace, Badger's Ferocity, Quickness, Legacy Weapon, Note of Blasting on some meat, maybe.
Oh my god.
Oh, note of
meat.
blasting on the meat. That's amazing. That's so smart.
I
Do it.
remember Diablo 2. I think they called that one Corpse Explosion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, you guys were laughing at my battle planning.
Battle
Well,
planning is good. It only
Good.
just the dice sometimes will crap on you, and sometimes the barbarian will kick the door down and greatsword everyone to death. Either way works. Let's do Arcturus first then. Arcturus Jod is where you'd expect to find him, in his shrine room. The door is open. You cross like over where the threshold is. He looks up, sees you, and just Taxmaster. You have not come
God.
to my shrine. What can I do for you?
Well, what was the name of that festival?
We're here to convert to a rastal.
No.
Archer's Day.
What was it?
Archer's Day.
Trust you enjoyed Archer's Day.
Yes, it was quite nice.
Yes, I think we all enjoyed it. So
Nice.
so
Smooth.
we have a bit of a situation. There's a cursed owl bear running, and it's a little unbelievable to be honest, but running rampant in our graveyard. And we have devised a plan to attempt to dispel the curses that have been put upon it in an attempt to pacify the creature. Perhaps talk to it, get some information out of it, figure out who has done this and for what purpose. Well, I mean, out of character, I already know some of that, but I'm not telling him that. And we would greatly appreciate your aid if you could offer.
He nods. Certainly I will not let the people of this area come to harm. Not even you.
Excellent. I, as always, appreciate seeing you, Jod.
And you as well.
I will let the king know of your commitment. I turn and leave.
Very good. Thank you. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, somewhere in the Gnarl Marshes. No, that's the Legion of Doom headquarters. That one's in the swamp. Yeah. 90s. Let's get a perception check from you two. Could we do that really quickly?
Perception.
Or survival. And survival. Both. Both is
Both?
nice. Both. Both is good. I did
Clear
it. I
as
brought the
eyes
GIF.
fall out.
Whoop. Kalira was a skeleton the whole
Both pretty
time.
terrible rolls.
Okay. So, like I said, it's been pretty gross and raidy. It's kind of hard to find the tracks or even, like, pathfind through here as you start getting, like, into places that would normally just be forest, but it's rained enough that water has filled up in places, and in so doing, Senia is probably able to spot them. How good are we at sneaking? We're not so good at
Not.
sneaking. Not at all. Roll. I'll let Kalira, because she fumbled. Roll a d6 for me. Okay. Those odds aren't super horrible. Unfortunately, you are unable to come upon any sort of game, things of that nature. Further, I say unfortunately, but it may be unfortunately X. I don't know exactly how to say it. You begin making your way through the newly swamped swamp, and Senia sees them about a split second before Kalira does. As they start, does either you speak Giant?
No.
As a pair of voices just Borba and begin storming through the swamp in your direction, and I will bop you over to a map real quick. You are
Damn it.
We are being sieged on all sides.
Presently, you are standing on not difficult terrain. Anywhere that like this is difficult terrain, slogging through like chest deep water. And I'll try to capture this map for everybody at home, but I've only got one monitor because I'm a pleb right now. So if something ends up covering this, well, you know what's good. Roll for initiative, y'all.
How far out are you guys?
They're, I'm gonna say like a couple hours outside of Kato's range.
So from my vantage point, I wouldn't see the
No.
trolls, or the giants, rather.
They're a ways out.
I need a kingdom phase so bad, guys.
Dude, what is
So
up with these
bad.
rolls? Ugh.
Can you tell I'm really excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Because I'm really excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Alrighty, Divicos, you can get off the initiative. Thank you for your service, buddy. And boom, bam. And trolls, I don't think add anything. I think trolls are like d20 plus 1 at most. Woof. Unless suddenly the troll has like a +6 to initiative that I just am blissfully unaware of. Which it... Oh, +2. So that's easy enough. Senia, you are top of the round. They are coming your way.
Alright, as a swift action, I'm gonna do Arcane Stamp. And they're not attacking us yet, so I can activate my stack helm, yeah?
You can, I think? They're gonna attack you.
They're already flat-footed, though, so there's no point
Oh.
using your
Yeah.
stag's helm right now.
Also true.
And I think they're too far away too.
They have to be within 30. But
Yeah,
when you
okay.
go before them, they're flat-footed until they get their turn. So just
Okay.
And those squares should be accurate.
full round attack on them with your bow.
So I'm gonna do deadly aim with a
Yeah.
fire arrow.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. Make it so. Engage.
So I had the what do you call them? The slow burn arrows that were given to us.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, fair enough. Both of those connect. Damn, well done.
Cluck, cluck.
Clock, clock. For 30 points of damage. Dope. And so it was. Remind me exactly what those arrows do again, please.
let me see. I gotta look them up.
I'm gonna assume Kalira, go ahead and do Kalira's turn.
It does like fire damage at the end of their turn or something.
Ah,
like that.
gotcha.
Or
That
the
makes sense.
beginning of theirs turn or something.
On your turn, 1 round after impact, the burst of flame deals
Accidentally
1d6.
logged
Yeah.
In 1 round, it'll shut off their regeneration. Dope.
I'm going to. It's difficult terrain, so I can't reach them. Correct.
You can't charge, and all of these are 10 feet of movement. Kalira could go like this way and then this way, but it may be more profitable to just either wait or go like this.
You also, if you move out of range, you don't get my buff.
Yeah. I guess all I'll do is I will rage and shoot an arrow. I do
Alrighty.
not have fire arrows.
This is the most I've seen barbarians use bows in my entire career.
Tara's actually quite good with a bow. She's got the
Indeed.
dex.
This is also my first Geminate Invoker as well. Pretty good, I gotta say. I really like that archetype. Flexibility on anything. It's why I like the Brawler so much. Could make a whole video about Geminate Invokers. But I digress. Pew pew pew. Jormungandr's been really quiet this whole time, and that's weird given how warm it is. That's random nothingness. First one is a super miss. 22 is a super hit. I don't have a... I might have
Sure? I don't know.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna have to look it up, so it might take
Sure.
a second. When does Witch Hunter go off?
Let me link that.
Never mind. Regeneration is an extraordinary ability. I thought that might be supernatural.
Okay, that's
Damn.
cool.
Almost. So close. But 12 piercing damage is 12 piercing damage. It does not like it.
Alright, and then I guess I will 5-foot step this way. My turn.
Alrighty. Sounds good to me. And here come the trolls. Oh, Lord, they're coming. 5, 15, 25, and doesn't want to double move. It comes storming into the water. It's about double the height. It's about as tall as Senia's Rancer, honestly. Probably a little taller if it wasn't hunched over. It goes sloshing through the water that's like knee deep on it, but would be like chest deep on y'all, and it reaches down into the water and withdraws this gross, muddy algae, and I'll say leech covered, and people watching on at home will be like, oh god, leeches, it's the scariest swarm in Pathfinder. Leeches for flavor. It only tastes like leeches. I shouldn't have said that. And is gonna...
Is this the one that's got the fire arrow on it?
Yes. So, Senia, if you could roll a d6.
So I think
Or
she
no.
fired one at
The
each.
d6 is on her round. The d6 is on her round.
Okay.
So, 1,
Yeah, and she did a full round. She shot one fire arrow at each troll to shut off their regen.
What was it at each troll? I thought it was both at the same one.
No, it should be each one.
Okay, got it. I will take 13 off this guy really quickly. That's words, and then I'll put 13 on new guy, and then he regenerates, and he's gonna do his best. Targeting who? I think Senia. Senia hit me with the fire. Senia is the scariest. Catch. 21 to hit Senia.
What's your AC? 17.
So
That'll
yeah,
hit you.
yeah, that'll hit me.
Let me just... It doesn't have the... I'm pretty sure it'd be... Yeah, this should be right. Plus... I miss having a second monitor so bad. Soon. This will probably be... Yeah, my roommate's moved out by now, so I get the master bedroom for a month. It's exciting. So, I'm gonna just...
Ooh, I gotta update the HP on my token here.
As you take 11 points of damage from the rock hurled at you. And troll the second. 5, 10... I think we can, yeah. 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and it double moves to get there. But double moves it does. And Senia, you're on.
Hello.
Attack of opportunity.
She has her
she
bow
doesn't
out.
have
She
a,
didn't have
she has her bow out.
Yeah. Oh wait, she's not on the list. Threw me off.
Yeah, I'm not on the turn order list.
Are you not?
She didn't click there. She didn't click her thing.
Yeah, I didn't click my thing when I rolled, sorry.
That's all good. In any case, you're on.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the quick draw feat to draw my Rancier out.
Already.
As a free action.
Yipper.
And, well, So if I step over here, that's gonna be I could. Oh,
You can 5-foot step back and still do your full round attack.
okay,
He's got it.
cool. So
I asked about this in earlier in the week.
Mhm.
So I'll step back there, and I'm gonna use my Rancer.
Alrighty. Something I should remember to do, but I sometimes forget.
So at the start of her turn, both of them take d6 fire damage.
Gotcha. So really
roll-
quickly, the action economy with quick draw to draw your weapon as a free action is a thing, but it would take more than a free action and would provoke if Senia wants to put her bow away. Otherwise, she would be dropping it.
Can she just drop it on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, just drop it.
Yeah,
Bow's there.
so do that.
Just so we know.
Okay. So how do I roll here? / roll?
/R space 1d20 plus.
No, she's
no,
doing the
she's
fire.
talking about the fire damage.
I'll roll it real quick. Go ahead and make your attack.
Yeah,
Is
just do
it? It's a
your full
d6 to each of them, no save.
attack. Just says
1d6 points of fire damage to the target.
Alrighty, they are unhappy.
Can I, before I attack, can I go into my trance?
Yeah.
Okay.
that's a swift. You still have your swift action economy, so yeah.
So I'll go into my trance and wait, is it that one?
+1 morale bonus on attacks against any creature that has targeted one of her allies with an attack or a harmful spell.
No, not the one. Sorry, hold on.
It's all good. Well, while she's doing that, if Cal wants to go ahead and attack.
Sure. I'm gonna drop my bow and draw my greatsword. Take the opportunity attacks.
So I'm gonna do the ancestor totem. That gives me a +2 insight bonus to a chosen skill.
Okay, sounds good. Kind of running everything at once here so we can keep her moving. Oh, never mind. Oh, do mind. Much confusion
Sorry.
happens. I'm gonna attack.
No,
Boom.
why that did twice.
Does a 22 hit Kalira?
Yeah.
Alrighty. And Senio, whenever you're ready, just throw your math out there. And 1d8 + 5. As it comes in and does a big ol' heckin' nom 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 to the tune of 12 damage, your 27 connects for 21 slashing damage.
I also want to do a intimidation check with my corner-gun smash.
Works for me. Oh, you got corner gun smash now. Dope.
Yeah, hence the whole devil thing.
Ah, yes.
So okay, so I'll do a power attack.
Wow.
Okay.
That definitely confirms. That definitely does 31 piercing damage, and if I guess that initiative was wonky-ish. So what I'll say is, ladies, if you'd like to flavor that kill.
So Senya swings her Rancer in a downward arc and slashes the troll against its belly, and like it just has its guts all spilled out.
And then Kalira beheads it as it crumbles to the ground.
Beautiful. And it was hit with fire, so it ain't coming back. So that was technically both of your turns. Yeah, okay, cool. So then 10, 20, 30, taking a move action.
You go, girls.
And I'm gonna bite the barbarian. Do I power attack you? I think I never power attack with my monsters. I think I power attack with my monsters a little.
Yeah.
Kalira can have a little power attack as a treat.
That's fine.
What's my bad?
She can take it. She's got like a 500 health or something now.
So then minus
Fifth of that.
23.
Are you over 100?
I'm exactly at that. Yeah, that hits.
Alrighty, so 1d8 plus 5 plus this. 17 points of damage.
Okay.
As you bring your sword back, its boorish, piggish head snaps forward and gets you around the midsection once again. And it's on Senia.
Alright, Senya's gonna attempt to intimidate.
Okie dokie. Azazel really wants that door open really bad. Unfortunately, it seems more concerned with eating Kalira alive.
You forgot the extra blood too.
No, I did. That's with the
Oh,
plus
never mind.
Brought the -2 from low charisma up.
That a net 0 with +2.
Sounds about right.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
It's up to me. So I guess I'll look back.
Yeah, that'd have been a standard action for her. So then move action if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna move in 5 feet step this way.
Alrighty, sounds good enough for me. And Kalira.
I'll 5-foot step here
Okay.
and look over at Seni and said, "That's not how you intimidate something, darling. It's more like this." And then I swing my greatsword.
Proceeds to fumble. No, actually not at all. Okay, fair enough. 24 hits, and 11 not so much. 28 points of slashing damage. However, this is how you intimidate them. Could you also tell us how you flavor them?
Yeah. So she does it when she does a corner gun smash. Like a shadowy visage of like leathery wings spread out from her back for like a second and then goes away. But yeah, see? He's scared and he's dead.
And could both of you make a perception check?
Huge ass owl bear has appreciated your contribution.
No, both of you, what you hear is, I can't really approximate the sound myself. I often speak in other game terms, so that's what we're doing today, I guess. The sound of the mutant hounds from Fallout 4, that like honking, blaring noise.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming your direction. It's followed by several like big jowly bark squeals, like as if a pig and a dog hybrid.
Alrighty. These are pretty big creatures. If me and Senia grabbed one of them together, we probably could pick it up, though, right?
Yeah. What I'll say is, I'm looking at it over here now. A troll is... tell me how much you weigh, friendo. How much do you weigh? An adult troll weighs about 1,000 pounds, give or take.
Yeah. So it'd be. I mean, I could lift it if I was ready. How far are we from the horses?
A ways. You could get back there.
So,
certainly, it sounds like something has picked up your scent and is coming, though. So
I'll shout to Senia, like, "Hurry up, grab it. Let's get out of here."
All right.
And I
going
pick
to
up its
assist.
legs.
Alrighty. And you guys are able to drag a troll away.
And when we do that, Senya picks up her bow before they skip.
Right. Good call.
I'll assume Kalira does the same.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So coming over the ridge as a knowledge nature check.
What have you wrought upon
What
us?
have I wrought upon you? The creature is called a trollhound. It's
Yeah,
literally
figured.
what you think it is. Just a strange second cousin in the troll family, I guess is the best way to put it. They also regenerate. It's like you took a wolf and a troll and mixed them together. They
'Cause I had a
often
whole-
travel with packs of trolls to serve as forward scouts. Their noses are a little stronger. They see you and they again. You more than assume that they are alerting other trolls to your presence, and then they go to the bodies of the trolls that have been the troll you left behind, and they begin tearing it apart, giving the two of you enough time to escape.
See, Tommy, it's good that you told us their origins, because I had a whole nother image in my head of how those came to be.
Oh, good.
It wasn't pretty.
It probably wasn't now. Alrighty.
Oh, there's my token.
I don't know why it changed for that. That's strange. Anyway, initiative is off. Jod has agreed to do a heckin' help, and the barbarians return. Noblest of warriors with dead troll.
So we didn't find any deer, but we did run across a couple of trolls, and I think we may have also found a forward scouting party. So
You
we
did.
didn't stick around to verify 100%.
They had a couple of troll hounds that were with them. I don't know. They kind of stuck around to eat what was left with the other one. So I don't know if they will follow us or not.
The enemies are closer than I thought.
When we
Realistically,
definitely-
you probably hear the troll hounds in Concordia as well.
We definitely don't want to get pincered between a giant cursed owlbear and a troll army. That would spell in almost certain doom.
I don't know. Maybe owlbears don't like trolls. Guess we can find out if we feed this thing to it.
So can we hear like this approaching like noise?
No,
You
no.
said it was
you would be able to hear the troll hounds in Concordia, albeit not nearly as clearly when they sounded their mournful cry, but it's died out since. Looks like the ladies were able to make a clear break.
I say we don't delay any longer. We should head and attempt to deal with this.
Yes. While the
Alright.
troll meat's fresh, let's get this over
Indeed.
with.
Alrighty. And remind me again, really quickly, if we could, what the plan is.
Also, how many hours have passed since how much health I got back?
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, it's probably been 2 hours since you left.
Cool. That's,
But in any case, whole squad's going out.
yeah, I believe so.
And oops.
Is that 1 plus modifier times hours?
That's only if you rest for like an 8-hour period.
Oh, okay.
And you guys weren't resting. You guys were booking it.
Oh, so I don't. Get nothing.
Ionia, what question? What are you asking about this threat range thing about?
She's
Is it
got a
going to
whole-
affect who's going to receive my spell?
She's got a whole list of pre-combat buffs that she's about to drop, so that way she doesn't have to spend too much time
Gotcha. The reason I
explaining to
ask,
all of us what she's doing.
the reason I ask is there are ways that fighters can boost our own crit range, but there is a caveat that it says that crit range cannot be further boosted by any other means. So that's why I'm asking what it specifically it is.
So yeah, it'll need to go on someone who doesn't have that caveat then.
Which will be me as soon as my crossbow is in, which is not today.
Indeed. Okay, so remind me, who's coming with us today?
All of us, Jod and the Iruxi, I think.
I guess Cal would probably be the best target then for that.
All of
'Cause
us.
I have
J Dizzle, Forshizzle.
So you have a 17 to 20 on your
No,
greatsword?
that she was asking what is like the biggest threat range you could get.
The
Oh.
It's like
biggest
with
would
the-
be 50
there's
to
that-
20 from like a scimitar or a falchion or something like that. Like the 18 to 20 from that would then go to 50 to 20. All right, Duzzy's coming with us. Whoops, she's not that big. Sit, boo, boo, sit. And we're gonna bring. I gotta find Jod's token. I haven't thought about Jod in so long. All right, Jay Dizzle, old man, once chased Kalira around the board, and it was kind of funny.
Mhm.
All right, we'll chase you. Oh shit.
It was really hard, by the way, Del. I thought of you because I almost, when I went into his shrine, I was almost like, oh, nice little space you got here. But I didn't.
Oh god. Okay, almost there. This is the beginning of Wrath. There's the chief, so it can't be much farther back down. All the bandits from that first encounter. There's that kobold. There's Cressel was her name. I'm like, what the hell is your name?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cressel. I never did see someone get double disarmed before. That was oddly satisfying. There you are, Jod Kafkin.
What is this, a recap episode at the end of the season?
Quiet you. But kinda. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna use the map that everybody was just at. If you don't have sight, let me know.
I don't have sight.
You might now.
Oh wait, now I do.
Basically, the squares that are yellow are the squares that aren't difficult terrain. It has been raining for a very long time. The
Gross.
owlbear is not readily apparent that you can track them.
Oh, boy.
How you want to do this?
So,
You should probably set the troll out for it to entice it, perhaps.
Okay. I guess if you want to make a scribble on the board somewhere where you think a troll might go.
Where are we at in this board?
Oh, we're all the way on the bottom.
Y'all are down here.
I see. Probably the best spot would be like like a clearing. Is that all water down there? The blue stuff.
Yeah. Just
do we
pools of
want to
standing
note
water.
of? Do we want to note of blasting the meat if our initial intention is to try and?
It just stuns its mind, right? It's not a physical explosion.
It deals damage. So what we'll want to do is have like backup meat that we can throw at it if things go bad, I guess.
Cut a chunk off.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. We'll cut off a forearm and then we could.
And then we should give that to maybe Senya because I think Senya has the best ranged.
We could put it like right here on this.
No,
little
Senya,
island up here.
it has to be me. No one else can touch it.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
If anyone else touches it, it blows
It
our
goes
mind
off.
up.
Up here in this little island up there, I think it would be a good spot.
Hey guys, remember when we set the trap for the charging boar and it just
Yes.
went around it?
Yes. Well, I was saying we put it here, and then I guess we can hide among these trees on this other side. Clicky's not working, but
How hard do we want to
Do
try
the,
to
use
dispel
the
this
free
thing?
hand. Where do you want to? Just draw.
Wait, who?
put it here on this island, and we can hide among these trees for cover.
Okay.
Which trees? Oh, those trees. Oh, okay.
The black is hard on the dark.
Oh, with pass without a trace, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we won't be able to be smelled, and we don't leave any tracks. But I don't think the tracks are really going to matter here.
And it
We
also
can still make sound, though. We're not silenced.
I could cast silence over us if we're really worried about that, but it should be fine. I mean, why don't I just do it? I'm not going to be
I
doing
mean,
much
all of my
right now.
stuff is like mental casting things, so I don't think a silence is gonna hinder me at all.
Oh wait, Jod needs doesn't
Oh, right.
dispel magic have a vocal component to it?
Yeah, most spells do.
All right, well then scratch that.
And also, how hard do we want to try to dispel this thing? Because I have basically 6 attempts that I could make, but that's going to be time that if I'm just going to be focusing on doing that, I'm not going to want to give myself legacy weapon and quickness because that's just going to be wasting time and resources if I'm just going to be trying to dispel this thing.
I say we try maybe. Like, we're going to try. It's going to hear you.
I feel like if you fail your dispel, we're going to have to engage it.
Yeah. This is a Hail Mary kind of.
Like if
That's
Jod
just-
and you both fail your proper dispelment, well,
Then
I
we
would,
go in.
because then we maybe go in because
I have to be. The other thing is, I have a spell for dispel that I can do at more of a distance, but I only get one spell of that level, and so I'd kind of rather save that in case we need like the sphere of invisibility or anything.
What's the distance on dispel? Magic.
Medium, I think.
It's 170 feet for me,
Mhm.
but my other castings of it, I have to be adjacent to the magical effect.
Oh,
Well, that's what I was saying. That's something you could do if we have to engage it. You know what I mean?
Right. So do I want to cast my level 3 spell just right out the gate and
We need to try. We need to try it at ranged.
Right. The problem is that gives up our invisibility sphere, which is what we'll need if we need to run away.
Well, we're not going to run. We're going to, if it comes down to it, we're going to put it down.
I changed my mind. I think this would be a better spot. That way, like it would have to travel across the water. Maybe we could, if we did want to run, we'd have a little bit more, because it'd have to go through the water a little bit, and also it would give us a place to fight along here.
Yeah, that's
all right. Call. Well, let's set
okay. So
up
real
then.
Quick, for Badger's ferocity, we decided on Kato and Cal, right?
Well, Kato was already getting a benefit from it of his own personal threat increase range, so
well,
that
I think
won't
we
stack.
determined that.
No. I said I don't get that until next level.
Oh, all right, sweet.
So
yeah.
So Kato's threat range is going to be 15 to 20,
17
and
to 20.
Cal's
17.
I'll throw a dueling sword is 19 to 20.
Oh, it's yes, 19. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So both of you will be 17 to 20.
Yeah.
And then what order do we want to do legacy weapon? Because once those fall off, I will not be recasting those. So I'll do mine first,
Cool.
and then basically one person will have 5 rounds, the next person will have 6 rounds, the next person will have 7 rounds.
That's between Kato, Cal, and Senya, since I still do not have a cross.
And I'm not doing this on Minoru either.
I mean, I'll be raging, so I don't think you can put it on me after that point.
Well, she's gonna cast it pre-combat.
Oh.
The idea, anyway.
And it's actually something I cast on your weapon. I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
That's a good point.
But you're not in rage right now, I take it, so.
No.
Moot point.
So why don't we go? I don't know.
So probably whoever has the highest threat range. Let's do Senya after me. Senya will have 5 rounds because she doesn't have the threat range, and then you two can decide between the two of you.
Go Kato
who
and
gets
then
the 6
go
rounds.
Cleara. Cleara
Okay,
does
so
more
Kato
damage.
gets 6 rounds. Cleara gets 7 rounds.
And then we're good.
What does that do?
Plus
That's
2.
a +2 enhancement bonus on your weapon that stacks with whatever enhancement you already have up to +5.
So assuming we enter combat without getting surprised by this owl, all of this applies.
How long does that stuff last?
For you, you're having the full 7 rounds.
Okay, so
not
the Badger's ferocity is concentration, so as long as I maintain
And
concentration.
as a quick point of order, concentration takes a standard action.
Oh,
I had
So
to
you
go back and
basically-
double check it.
You're basically using battle meditation
that's really fucking
to
stupid.
buff us. It's a huge buff.
Yeah, it's a pretty big buff.
Keen Edge is like an insanely powerful buff.
In the same way that Artor is snapping his fingers and giving someone haste.
Okay, so I thought concentration worked like it does in 5th edition. It does not, so we're taking that one out because I'm not going to be just standing by doing nothing.
Which one's leaving?
The Badger's ferocity, which only affected Cal and Kato.
Got it.
But what that does do is actually that doesn't change anything. Okay. So then what we have is I have 4 rounds of legacy weapon. This is the one that gives +2. Senya has 5 rounds. Kato has 6 rounds, and Cal has 7 rounds. That's +2 on your weapons.
Okay.
All right.
I'm still weeping for my lost crit.
I think I did that right. That's cure medium, right? 2d8
Yes.
plus 2.
You got it. Did you get it from a potion?
Yeah.
Then it would have been +10.
Oh.
John,
For
or
cure
John,
medium?
Those were special potions that
Bakken made him a max caster
Bakken
at
made
his own
those.
caster level, which is 10.
Oh.
I will also, at this point, fire a bless off.
Alrighty.
And
Fortunately, the owlbear appears to not be in the area, otherwise it would hear you.
okay. And if we do have the opportunity, to kind of do all these castings in an appropriate fraction of a minute, I will also channel
So
vigor
do
before
we
we
even
begin.
hear? Do we even hear the owlbear at this point?
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
Yeah,
just couldn't see him.
you can follow the tracks. It's around here somewhere. It just is not right here right now.
I'm going
Right
to.
here. Right now. All right. So should we put everything in place then?
I think so.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, yeah. I guess me and Senia will drag or carry the troll body up here.
Alrighty, works for me. Body goes. Did we want it here or did we want it here?
That's where we're hiding. Yeah, where Kalir is where the body is going to be.
Okay, got it. So, green. Green is not yellow, you fool. Green is the color of trolls. La 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 la. That's a troll. Dazia will. Actually, Dazia is going to blorp into the pool there. It's deep enough that she can crouch down and put her, she kind of just crocodiles her head up. And then looks around and then puts it back down and she has cover. Jod will follow along with his bow.
I'll cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. And all the buffs have been cast.
Okay.
I will enter my
Stance.
fighting stance. And then I will, while she's casting buffs, I will enter my other stance, and then I will combine the 2 stances using fuse styles to create a more perfect form.
God.
Alrighty. Can I get a spellcraft check from everybody?
You all die.
I
There
can
actually was
do
a symbol of
that.
death on right where you drew that circle. Shit.
Mhm.
I think Arcturus has it. Arcturus has it with Ionius. Out of nowhere, the wind picks up in such a boom, like this, blowing the scent of the meat this direction, the direction where you hear
okay.
the owlbear from. It's pretty clear. You assume it was Dazia, who is presently concentrating on control winds to just make a straight line wind that direction to carry the scent.
Tara, you might not want to be standing
I'm
right
gonna
there.
shout over to Senia. Hey, what are you doing? Get over here, Senia.
All right.
You're the one who told her to go there.
All
We
right.
carried the
Ionia.
troll body over there. We were supposed to come back. We're not supposed to
Ionia, switch places with Senya,
Why?
because she gives a buff to everyone in an adjacent tile to her.
Oh, fair. Because Kato wants the buff too.
We all want the buff. Senya should be in the center of the group. And she can
Alrighty.
reach over all of us with her rancier. If need be.
So, the invisibilities are cast, the die is cast, line of sight is broken by everybody. The wind is, as the owlbear enters, as enormous as it is. I'll move it over here so y'all can get a good frame of reference for its size compared to yours.
Oh, Jesus.
He's a big boy.
Hey, buddy.
The wind
You
shifts
didn't
in
say.
such a way
You
that
didn't mention he was this big.
a big boy takes the wind entirely off you guys in such a way that it's just the meat blowing, and that is basically your saving. Well, no, you got the thing that prevents scent, so it can't even find you. And indeed, it comes stomping. It doesn't seem to mind the water very much, but given that Kato said, yeah, this thing's about as big as Tree Razor, that tracks. These little pools aren't going to bother it nearly as much as it would bother even a troll. It indeed sets upon what remains of the bastard and starts tearing him apart. There's a message pings in Ionia, like in the back of her head, just, now?
What?
Do you want fight?
You just
Yeah,
gotta telepathic
both firing
ping now.
off dispel magics
Oh,
to start the...
sorry, I misunderstood what was happening. Okay. Yeah, let's go.
I should go first. Allow me. And she does the thing. I don't know why my brain pooped as hard as it did just there. Alright, can the owlbear get there? Owlbear can't get there. The owlbear freezes. As Dazir rises out of the water and incants something in her native tongue whilst holding another, bit of a Ruxi claw, and then she points at the owlbear, and the owlbear just locks up, paralyzed. And may the force be with you, my friends. Roll initiative.
Be my best roll ever on initiative.
Fuck, I forgot to hit my token.
Rip.
Give me one
That's
sec.
where I put my 20. Ooh,
It's not the worst place in the world to put your 20.
I guess.
Prevented the
But
owlbear
we
from
need
having a
to
20.
hold our moves until after the witch
Dispels,
is
yeah.
Yeah. I guess we don't have to. He could.
I guess if he's paralyzed, Ionia could just run up and keep trying with all 6 of her slots.
Assuming he doesn't break free next turn and gore her.
Well, yeah.
I couldn't vanish and do that. Well, would that be considered hostile?
Yeah, Dispel Magic
Oh.
is hostile. A spell that affects the thing, basically.
Right.
Alrighty, I'm going out on a limb and assuming the owlbear has a better dex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 party members. And let's grab us a board. Boom. And then... looks like Kalira's first up.
Killer kind of just looks at it. Why is no one saying anything? And why isn't it moving? Nah. I'm just gonna hold my action to attack if it comes near.
Should I assume that
Question:
everyone is holding action up to Ionia?
Does would shaking it help at all against the things we're trying to do?
They take a
No,
minus
'cause
2 on
it's-
saves.
It's -2 to saves as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's against the spellcasters.
Right.
Not
So if you're
the
trying to
creature.
get a will save on it, then yes. But if it's a dispel magic, not so much.
Okay. Cool. It was just
I'll just hold mine until after the witch goes.
All right.
Kato's up. Kato is going to charge. Just kidding.
I was waiting for him for the DM to say go ahead, and then you stop immediately at the water.
The last 9 minutes.
Would real quick, Cal, you're sundered. Can you target a specific effect, or does it just go for all effects on the creature?
Tommy, how does dispelling effects work? You said it goes after the.
It depends on
The
how it's
weakest.
cast.
Yeah,
it says an ongoing spell effect, but I don't know if that necessarily means I can choose.
You
Guess
should
it's
be
up
able
to
to
DM.
choose. Yeah.
Okay. There you
Yeah,
go.
if it's like dispel magic, which it seems to be based off of.
Yeah, it's basically just dispel magic, the sword. So yeah, Kalira could go try to do the thing now,
I would.
or
Go back
to
double
Kalira's
move
turn and
into
go for it.
position.
Yeah, but I don't think I could get over there in a single turn. That's the only reason.
Oh, okay.
All right, so then
Let-
Arcturus. Oh, I didn't put Jod on the initiative. I forget he exists. Come on.
I
buddy.
will also be holding my turn until after. Probably after both Ionia and Jod have gone, to be honest.
Alrighty, Jod is also holding his turn. He, absent-mindedly is running along, carvings of a bow and arrow on his own longbow,
Damn it, Jod.
whispering prayers to Rastal. Senia also is holding initiative, I assume.
Nope. Use your
Wait. Do you want me to
enter your
enter my
stance and activate your group buff.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna hold my turn for the rest of.
Okay, goes to Ionia.
I will cast the spell. Let me find my character sheet.
And you're attempting to target.
The thing that's making it big.
Okay, understood. A target is All right, roll a. Do we have a caster level check somewhere in here? I don't think we do.
How do I roll that?
D20 plus 7, basically.
Spell magic is so wonky.
Ooh, that's a good roll.
That is a good roll. Okay, so DC 11 plus the caster's level. If successful, the spell ends. If not, compare the result of the same with the next highest caster level. Repeat this process until you've spelled one spell affecting. Okay, so the owlbear it's very clearly paralyzed, and I guess do you want to flavor how the magic is dispelled before I go any farther? How does Ionia cast this kind of magic?
I have no idea. I really haven't thought about this. Pass.
Pass indeed. So the owlbear does not shrink, but it's not moving, so you can't really tell what happened to it. But you feel in your mind's heart that like you definitely hit something. Something has been dispelled.
Okay.
Okay.
Something happened.
But it's still
Maybe
Gen
the
norm.
enlarge is still on it, but the whatever was making it angry has changed.
Maybe.
The hell?
Jad, I
This
mean,
is why-
Jad. I assume Jad knows how to dispel. Clerics get that.
Clerics get that. 4th level clerics do not.
How did we bring you, Jad?
You even asked him?
I had
You were the one we sent to go talk to him. Did you
I
ask?
assumed he was useful.
The motions that Dazia makes are the same. Unfortunate. Was Ionia done also? I'm sorry.
Real quick, for the dire caller, it just says once per day on command. Is that an action? Is that a swift action? How does that work?
Standard action from Minoru.
Standard action from Minoru.
Yeah.
Okay, Minoru's gonna get big then as well.
Alrighty, Minoru will need to move here to have a legal square to resolve in when this happens, but boop boop boop. Heckin'
Holy.
goodest boy. About the size of Grom. And
Poor Grom.
Tazia's gonna make her way over here. Owlbear's gonna save against the hold monster and continue to fail Kalira.
So are we like talking to it now? Or I thought. What is it? What do you mean it? You did something?
Go try to sunder it.
Yeah,
It's under the spell effects.
It's paralyzed. Now's a good time as any to.
All right. Okay. I don't know if I can get across there in one turn. If I charge, I can't even charge because it's.
Okay, hold your turn then. I'll give you haste, and you can have the movement speed. That get you there?
That would probably do it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Hold your turn to after mine.
Okay, then I will hold until
Actually,
after.
5, 10, 15, 20. You could, since not all the squares are difficult terrain, you could go 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, no, never mind. You definitely couldn't. I lied.
Yeah.
5, 10. I thought I saw it. 15. Nope. We're almost there. I'm so good at counting, Kato.
All right, so this thing's making its own will saves against trying to break free of the paralysis.
Right.
You don't know that.
All right, then I will try to intimidate it. I will attempt to shake it. Because that's -2 then, right, on its saves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's keep this guy locked down. So, intimidate! Wait, am I at least 30? Where's my ruler?
I think it's like 25 feet. Well, it's 25 feet from me.
Kato would need to move a little closer.
I would need to move. Okay, so I'm
It's not
gonna...
that bad.
No, it's fine. I can move a little bit. All right, so 30 would basically... So I just need to move like 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll move here. That puts me just in.
Alrighty.
All right. Intimidate. Where is that? Oh, rip.
The
Your opponent-
owlbear doesn't really seem to
I
notice
rolled a
you.
2. I rolled a 2.
And Artoris gives Kalira haste and Kalira does the thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, make it so.
Obviously raging as I go up there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Okay.
So, can I reroll?
If you want to use your hero point, yeah, go for it.
Ooh.
There we go.
There it is.
That is considerably higher. That definitely... Does it matter by how much you pass? Is that how spell thunder works?
Yes. It's just like, +5, it's permanent.
Okay, fair enough. So then... you have a separate
wait, hold on.
DC.
For any effect other than one on a creature. That's for any effect. On a creature, if I beat it.
Where I'm going to succeed
It's
a
under an
normal
effect
thunder
on a
against
creature.
CMD plus
It is
5,
CDM +5. Yep, it is CMD +5.
which...
And if it's more than 9, if it has to be by 10 to get rid of it, period. But if I do it by +5, it gets rid of it for 1 round. If I do it by 5 to 9, it gets rid of it for 2. And if I do it by 10, it's gone completely.
Oh, so it suppresses it otherwise.
Unfortunately, you run up to this thing, and this thing is enormous. So much so that it's CMD, even with the buff you would get from haste. A 31 does not quite beat it.
Yeah.
You try to sunder it, the magic happens, but mostly you just bounce off feathers. Some of the feathers might shrink down a little bit.
Then I say...
well, this is the against the caster level, not his CMD, right? Or no, you're right. Never mind. I read this shit wrong.
You read the shit.
You are 100. Heard it wrong.
Yeah.
Are we still attempting to break something for this creature?
I mean, it might the anger enchantment might have been dismissed. We don't know.
Yeah, I could try to charm it next round.
I guess I'm skipping my turn now.
Alrighty. Jod is going to continue to hold Ionia.
Yeah.
I imagine Ionia and Dazi are going to try the same thing again.
We still think there is an enchantment on it?
Yeah.
There's definitely a size enchantment on it, but we got rid of
know.
something.
Why don't
Mood
we try to move to the talk portion?
Well, I can try to dispel more.
Do you have a range to spell?
No,
Still?
I'd have to get up there with Kalira.
I'd hold off.
Yeah, I would hold off on that.
Okay. I will hold. I can't really hold until after Kato because Kato's the top of the round, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can. Why can't you do that? Oh, because it would be next round. Yeah, never mind. I'm an
Right.
idiot.
Yeah, so I guess I just don't do anything this round.
Okay.
Any buffs?
Dazi is going to try it.
Rip.
You hate to see it. Any buffs
You
from
really do.
Ionia?
No, they would be overlapping, and I'm a little low on points, so.
Just mechanically, I was just curious: is being paralyzed, does that affect his CMD at all?
It would, but actually, I think in the case of the owlbear, it would not because it doesn't have a lot of dexterity.
Oh,
Okay, it has a little bit of dexterity, so it would have gone down from... Okay, so what happens if you exactly meet it?
He suppresses it for a round. The enchantment.
Okay. Then, indeed, because it's paralyzed, it doesn't have its dex to its CMD, so... For 1 round, until it comes back around to Kalira. I lied. A slight
Nice.
retcon. Boop, 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 boop.
Ksenia kind of looks over to, should I kill it? It's smaller.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And it also just passed its will save, I'm pretty sure. Hold monster is a... Oh, no, never mind. It basically... It could pass, but it didn't pass from that one. It remains paralyzed. At the top
Nice.
of Kato's turn...
Do it, Kato!
Do nothing, Kato. Because at the top
No.
of Kato's turn, you hear the
I'm doing
sounds of
something.
troll hounds troll hounding.
Oh shit! All right, this is do or die.
And
All right.
Talk
Well,
about
he wants to end the session, I
I
think.
pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got some new friends joining the battlefield, and that's where we're going to cut it for today.
I had my quote.
Oh, good. Hold your
Alright,
quote for 2 weeks, friendo.
Quote.
Yeah, I had a thing, but I'll save it.
That's what she said. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and we'll be
Believe the
back
session
at
went
it.
by so quickly.
It went by so fast.
It did.
Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Guys.
See
Bye,
ya.
everybody.